Well, there is no place that we would rather be on this opening day than at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, getting set for game number 1 of this long march toward October. It is crisp right now at the end of March. It will be crisp when postseason baseball arrives. These are two teams that hope to be involved and were a year ago. It's the Brewers and the Yankees today on ESPN.
It's known as the national pastime, the kids' game that became a stage for heroes in the show. But more than that, baseball is in America's soul.
Love like a baseball game. I've been told before. Tell 'em, son, hit the ball, knock it out of the park.
That ball's hammered to left field, and the bat's flipped. It's out of here.
He knew it as soon as he hit it.
He got both cheeks into that
When
one.
you swing, swing, swing for the fence.
Swing and a drive. It is far. It's gone. The turn got him. What a double play.
All your cares, all your woes, let them go and get down with the game that's all about going long and coming home.
They're going to wait, but it is saved. It's over. What a story. The greatest day in baseball history.
Welcome, one and all. This is opening day. Now hit it.
Hey, welcome to Yankee Stadium. Andy Pettitte just threw out the first pitch. He looks like he can still do it. We are glad you're with us today on ESPN. It's the Brewers and the Yankees. Game 1, opening day. Spring training is over. It's time to get serious. Freddie Peralta, Carlos Rodon. The pitching matchup for today's tilt. Aaron Judge loosening up and getting set. Breezy day here in New York, and now crammed up into this booth meant for 2, but it's 3. It's Joe Buck along with you, and Joe Girardi and Bill Schroeder. Both sides are represented. Bill, the longtime voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, about to start his 31st season with the Brewers in the broadcast booth, former player with Milwaukee, and then Joe Girardi, you know his resume, was here as a player in 96 and 97. You caught Andy Pettitte, maybe not that much, but you know what he could do on the mound. Let's talk about opening day. This is a special place. It's a special day, and man, I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, I've been through 30 opening days as a player, coach, or manager, and every one I had butterflies. It didn't matter how many I went through because you wanted to make sure you were prepared for that day and that season, and it's the one game that feels like a playoff game because you're so excited to get it going.
And everybody has a chance on opening day, right? Everybody is on an even keel. I grew up in New Jersey, went to Yankee Stadium a ton. I played in the old Yankee Stadium, the renovated Yankee Stadium. Then I broadcasted in this one. I can't think of a better place to start the Brewers season on the road than Yankee Stadium. It's exciting.
Yeah, let's talk about your Brewers. Obviously, for both sides, a lot changes from a year ago. For Milwaukee, they've got a big hole at short, at least with the offensive production. Willie Thomas is now in San Francisco. They traded their closer, Devin Williams, here to New York, to the Yankees. But still, this is a team that should be, at least in my opinion, you don't have to say it, should be a postseason contender. This is a good Milwaukee ball club.
I'm going to say it. I think that they're expecting to be in the postseason. They've been in the postseason 6 of the last 7 years. They won the division 3 of the last 4. 2 in a row. They've got some bright young talent. These guys are exciting. They love to run. And one of the guys we're going to highlight here, Jackson Chourio. This guy, the Brewers saw something in him before he even played one game in the major league. They signed him to a long-term deal. He got off to a bit of a slow start. This kid was 21 years old last year, was hitting around 200 the first 2 months of this season, but all of a sudden the switch was flipped. I mean, this guy was unbelievable. The rest of the season, a 305 batting average, 16 homers, 63 RBIs, and 883 OPS. He was a 2020 performer last year at 21, the youngest ever to be a 2020 performer in the big league.
Let's talk about the Yankees. I mean, there's so much that changed from a year ago. There's so much that's changed since the beginning of spring training. Obviously, Juan Soto is across town. He plays for the Mets. You've got the injury with Garrett Cole. Giancarlo Stanton is not here. He's injured. He's got tendonitis in the elbows. But, and there's plenty of other changes we'll go through during the course of this game. They do have that guy, that MVP, Aaron Judge, is set to click.
Yeah, and he struggled early on in March and April, much like Churio, but then he took off once May started. In his last 135 games, look at that, 357, 52 home runs. I mean, that's a whole season in 2 and 3 for me, right? So you start doing that, and his on-base percentage was .492. So he was putting up like Nintendo numbers and had a 701 slug. Only Barry Bonds has done that, you know, as of recent. So, I mean, this guy does it all. He's got power, speed, plays really good defense. He's great.
All right, it's the Yankees, it's the Brewers. We will take a break. When we come back, we will give you the lineups and the first pitch. Fun day on ESPN. Good matchup. 2 playoff teams from a season ago get set to go here at the start of 2025.
It doesn't matter where you work. If you're stuck in the same position all day, it's not good for you. That's why we created the original VeriDesk, the world's leading standing desk solution. Imagine working happier and healthier with a workspace designed for your comfort. VeriDesks are easy to set up in minutes, and they're built to last a lifetime. So invest in the best for your work and your well-being. Shop our sale and make your dream office a reality.
What's your plan, huh? Do you have one? Talking about what is your plan for a reliable source of power when the next emergency strikes? Well, check this out. It's called the Patriot Power Generator 2500, and right now it's $500 off at 4 Patriots. See, they took a page out of the military's playbook for portable solar power, and now we get to use it in our own homes. What's even better is that this solar generator can power critical appliances like your fridge, your microwave, and your CPAP machine, so that you're prepared for whatever emergency strikes next. Go to 4patriots.com now and save $500.
Did you just pay with PayPal?
Yes, it keeps my info safe, even at this shady lemonade stand.
Who are you calling shady, mister?
Oh, like this is fresh squeeze. Give me a break, Logan. I want to pay with you everywhere. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Rated T.
In the face of overwhelming danger, the most powerful bonds are forged. Monster Hunter Wilds, available now.
PlayStation.
All right, trainees, let's say Glenn is a customer.
I'm a customer in this scenario.
What do we do?
Protect what's important to him.
And how do we do this?
We help with car, home,
Both.
RV coverage.
Great, apply coverages. Because you never know what life is going to surprise you with at 90 miles per hour.
Did Coach say 90?
Push him up there.
You've got this, Glenn.
Am I gonna feel this?
I felt that.
Is he okay?
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
Oh, he's moving.
Oh, Cole's mom. What do we think of these? So you look like you're ready to walk the red carpet. No, stop it. Really? Or at least a faux fur rug. These are power pants. Yes. Okay, what about this? Whoa! That's it. That's how you goals.
You know what's smart? Treating yourself without cheating your goals. Indulge responsibly with Factor. All of the flavor, none of the guilt. Ready in 2 minutes. Eat smart with Factor.
Imagine if there's an ESPN Sportsbook app that linked to the ESPN app so you could track bets while you check stats. Go from streaming to betting in a couple taps. Personalized offers based on your fantasy team.
You're literally describing ESPN Bet, which exists.
It'd be a total game changer. It's one of my best ideas.
ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN. Sign up today and receive $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 bet.
As we welcome you back to Yankee Stadium, we at ESPN are going to start this game the best way that we can, by paying tribute to the wonderful Bob Uecker. In some ways, the patriarch of the Brewers family and organization, the beloved Milwaukee-born voice of the team, passed away in January at the age of 90.
From Yankee Stadium in New York, it's the Brewers and the New York Yankees.
Here he comes, 1-2. Swing and a miss! A swing and a fly ball, right field and deep. Get up, and get out of here. Gone! And that was no cheapie, folks. That ball was really hit. Around third, a
He will be missed. There is no doubt about it. And somebody, Bill, that you got to spend a lot of time with over your years with the Brewers.
40-plus years I knew Uke, and no one loved the game. Nobody loved the Brewers. Nobody loved Milwaukee more than Bob Uecker. He cherished every day at the ballpark, had integrity, loyalty, and class, had time for everybody and anybody. He taught us to respect the game, respect the players, and to always cherish what we do for a living, coming to the ballpark and doing baseball games. So he is missed. There's a big hole in the heart of the Brewer family, and he's looking down upon them and hoping to get to a World Series.
Well, the Yankees take the field, and we will keep Uke in our thoughts today. And I know that they are going to honor Bob all season long with the Brewers, have his autograph out in center field in the grass, wear a patch on their uniform, and pay tribute to a great, great man. Pat Murphy is the reigning manager of the year, and Aaron Judge, who can cast a long shadow out in right field, is getting set to go. Bill, why don't you take us through the Brewers starting lineup, and we highlight Christian Yelich, who was an all-star a year ago before he had to have back surgery.
Yeah, not a lot of changes from a year ago. A lot of young players that they're expected to pick up where they left off a year ago. Got Vinny Capra in the starting lineup today because of the left-hander. But Christian Yelich, I mean, the 2018 MVP, he was on his way in 19 and broke his kneecap at the end of the season, cost him the MVP, but he was really swinging the bat well a year ago. Then July came around, he had a back issue, ended up having surgery, but still the young players for the Brewers were able to step it up, and the Brewers won the division by 10 games. He had a really good spring. He's feeling good. That back is at 100%.
Let's talk about Carlos Rodon, Joe Girardi, a guy who is in year 3 of a 6-year deal and had a rough first year, but was much better a year ago.
Yeah, he took the struggles of his year in 23 and became a complete pitcher, adding his curveball and his changeup, and his changeup has been really good. His signature pitch is still that slider where he gets a ton of strikeouts on, but he's learned to mix pitches better because hitters are starting to hit four-seamers up in the zone. So he can't just throw that anymore.
Here is Jackson Churio, who shakes the hand of catcher Austin Wells. Our home plate umpire for today's game, Marvin Hudson, and away we go. Jackson, who just turned 21 years old in March and had that 2020 season at the age of 20. How will he start his 2025 season? Rodon pitching out of the stretch, pumps one by him, strike one to start the game.
Well, Rodon averages about 95.5 miles per hour. He's a little pumped up. First one's at 96, and it's game on when you're facing Jackson because he can take you deep really quickly.
Yeah, fastball, slider. He's got a good changeup as well.
On this 48-degree day, that's in, strike two.
And I think the big thing for Carlos is to stay on the edges with his fastball because, like I said, hitters are starting to figure out how to hit 95, 96 up in the zone. And then he's got that devastating slider.
Churio gets time.
They've been able to make adjustments with that launch angle, right? I mean, the big fastballs don't play as well as it used to.
Pitch number 3, swing and a miss, and a good start for Rodon as he gets Churio with a strikeout to start the day.
Well, there's the slider I'm talking about, and he was third last year on strikeouts with his slider. Only Cease and Sale struck out more hitters. He struck out 102, and you see the dive, the back foot slider after the 2 fastballs. It looks the same until near the end, and then it dives down and in.
33-year-old Christian Yelich digs his way into the box. 1 out, nobody on, and Rodon brings it to him and misses down and away with ball 1.
So I did the Yankees game Sunday in spring training, and I'm driving home, and I'm listening to Milwaukee on the radio. And Christian hit a triple, and I'm saying, no, stop. You don't want to get hurt. Stop. But he obviously feels really good.
Rolls one over to the right side. Nice play is made by Chisholm. And he got him for out number 2.
And that's an area where the Yankees need to improve from a year ago, right, Joe? I mean, defense was kind of shaky at times. a year ago, but Jazz Chisholm over at second base, that's going to be a big help.
Yeah, and he's going to provide a lot more range. I mean, he did a really good job when he came over and played third base last year, and he was playing center in Miami. He was originally a second baseman, but he's got a lot of range and he's got a strong arm. So I think they will be stronger with Cody in center field and Jazz at second base up the middle, and that's always important.
Gleyber Torres, who was at second base a year ago, is now in Detroit as the hitter William Contreras stands in with 2 out, nobody on.
Bill, is there anyone in the Brewers starting lineup that didn't have a great spring training
Not
offensively?
Too many. I mean, they were swinging the bats extremely well. I mean, Contreras, I mean, he plays a lot during the regular season, even plays a lot in spring training. He was over 400. Jackson Chiro hit nearly 500 in spring training. Of course, it is only spring training, as Pat Murphy wanted to remind us of that. But it's always good to be feeling good at the plate when you go into opening day.
2 balls, no strikes from Rodon with 2 out, nobody on, and next delivery is in for a strike. Contreras had a career year, 23 home runs, 92 driven in. His brother Wilson has moved from behind the plate to first base for the Cardinals, and they'll get underway in about an hour against Minnesota. Here's a pop-up on the infield, a mile high. And Paul Goldschmidt is staggering, but makes the catch. And a 9-pitch first inning for Rodon. Good start for the lefty. Yankees coming up, bottom of the first. No score.
Yo, I can guard pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
You fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete.
Dix is the GOAT.
Okay, remember the deal. 4 lines on Verizon, $25 each.
And iPhone 16 Pro.
We all get one. It's not on us. It is on them.
I'm going in.
Hi, we're here for
the unlimited plan, $25 a line.
Yeah, and
iPhone 16 Pro, 1 for each of you.
Yeah, but it's
on us. We got you.
Right now, every family gets our best price, $25 a line and iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. Get 4 on us, only on Verizon.
that was actually easier than we thought.
Missing punches.
Unnecessary.
Check reversals.
Unnecessary.
Timesheet corrections.
Unnecessary.
Unentered sick time.
Get Paycom and make the unnecessary unnecessary.
Since the dawn of baseball, every player has honed their unique skills. Who from this era will prove worthy of legend? The world watches as the journey unfolds.
Carlos Rodon with a perfect first inning, and Freddie Peralta is getting set to go here as the Yankees come to the plate. And Joe Girardi will cruise right through this Yankees lineup.
Yeah, catcher leading off the first time for the Yankees, and then your MVP, Aaron Judge. Cody Bellinger played with his father, Clay, when I was here. His dad was part of the World Series teams. Cody had a great spring, and I thought he pulled the ball a lot more with authority, and I think you're going to see his home run totals jump. And then you got Goldschmidt, Chisholm Jr., Dominguez, a young, exciting player, Volpe, Rice, who had a great spring training, and Oswaldo Cabrera.
We'll hear from Bill about Freddie Peralta right now. What has he got?
I'll tell you, Freddie has been really good. He's been adding pitches just about every year. He's added a sweeper, Joe, if you want to call a pitch a sweeper, not in our day. But anyway, he's been really good. The thing you love about Freddie Peralta is the fact that he hasn't missed a start in 2 years. I mean, he's been very dependable.
Missed with the first pitch and now brings home a 1-0. It's outside 2-0. And Joe said it, but Austin Wells is the first Yankee catcher to hit leadoff in a lineup in their franchise history.
You know, I'm going to call Joe Torre and ask him why he never led me off.
Here's a 2-0. That is ripped into right. Back at the wall. See ya! Home run! What a start. Yankees on top 1-0.
last year had really struggled out of the gate, where he went 3 for 35, and then in the middle part of the season, he was great, hitting fourth, hitting for power. And I think that's why the Yankees like him. He likes him there. He knows the strike zone. He does not chase a lot, and he's got power, and all of a sudden you got a 1-0 lead. And if you get on, you're not running in front of Aaron Judge anyway, so why not put some power up there?
Here is Judge, and he takes low for ball 1.
And another one of those high fastballs, Joe, you were talking about it. Guys are starting to get on that, and a 2-0 fastball to boot.
Judge waits and fouls it back.
You know, interesting enough, the Yankees hit 59 home runs in 33 games in spring training, and Aaron Judge only had 1. But you see what he did last year, and he struggled in March and April. The Yankees were still pretty good. They were 19-12, so it takes a whole team to be successful.
Good pitch from Peralta, strike 2.
Yeah, a lot of guys in spring training are trying to work on things, maybe just see the ball for a while, not concerned about the power. Sometimes power comes a little bit later.
1-2 pitch is going to miss. 2-2.
I mean, that's pretty good. You know, as catchers, we talk about if a guy chases up, maybe go a little bit higher. Well, he chased the first curveball and he came back with it, and Judge recognized it and didn't chase it. But I like the thought process.
Yeah, Freddie's turned himself into a 5-pitch pitcher. He came up, you know, when he first came up years ago, he was a 2-pitch guy, fastball, curveball. He's adding pitches every year.
Into center field, did not get a chance to extend his arms on that. Jammed a bit, 1 out. We go back to the home run by Austin Wells.
Yeah, a 2-0 pitch that's up middle of the plate, and you're going to see him get on top of this ball and then get it in the air, and the back leg goes down and he stays tight. He keeps that elbow close to his body. And this is Yankee Stadium. It's short out there. That might be a double in most ballparks, but it's a home run here.
Jet stream and right?
Jet stream and short.
Yeah.
Here is Cody Bellinger. His first at bat as a Yankee, and he takes down and away ball 1.
That's the one thing I noticed about his changeup too, Bill. It's hard. You know, there's not the big discrepancy. A lot of times it acts like a sinker, but it's in a very effective pitch for him.
Bad miss, 2-0.
Freddie, he doesn't have much of an issue normally getting ahead in the count. Sometimes he'll go 1-2, 0-2, and then end up with a full count, and that pitch count starts creeping up on him.
Yeah, when you think of an ace, you think about length plus really good innings, and you're right. Freddie's got so many pitches that when he gets ahead, he can put you away so many different ways. Sometimes he struggles throwing strikes.
2-1 pitch is outside, 3-1. How about this note? Talk about a catcher hitting leadoff. Austin Wells is the first catcher with a leadoff home run on opening day in Major League Baseball history.
How about 2 catchers up here? We like that, right?
Yeah, I never let off. You said you never did.
Maybe a stolen base, he can add that today too.
That's a strike. Good pitch, 3-2.
And then we can say what about him?
That he runs well for a catcher.
Yeah, thank you.
Nothing made Tim McCarver more mad than that sentence. Used on you in Game 6 of the '96 World Series from me at a different stadium. Here's a foul left side, going to get out of play, still full.
And one thing to keep in mind, you know, in this pitching matchup, you're going to see a lot of fastballs. Freddie Peralta throws a lot of fastballs. Matter of fact, last 2 years, no pitcher has more strikeouts on his fastball than Peralta. Uses it effectively when he's ahead in the count.
3-2 on the way, and a swing and a miss. Went after it, up, came up empty, 2 down.
Most effective is Freddie Peralta on that fastball right there, just above the strike zone. For some reason, with his low release point, he kind of hops off the mound, and you know that release point is a little bit lower than most, and it seems to rise as it gets to home plate. And that high fastball sometimes is tough to get a piece of.
Longtime National Leaguer Paul Goldschmidt takes a strike over the outside corner. He was an MVP with the Cardinals in 2022. Coming off a down year, but a 1-year, $12.5 million deal. Chops one to short. Ortiz grabs and throws for the out. Austin Wells says, yeah, I'm not just hitting leadoff. I'm also doing damage. Pitch was up and out. Wells taking Peralta out of the park in right. Yankees on top 1-0.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Programs like the Fresh Start Initiative can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax relief firm. Their award-winning team of tax professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they have the expertise to help you. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima now for your free consultation.
For your free consultation, call 800-736-5459. 800-736-5459. That's 800-736-5459.
Optima Tax Relief.
I like to do a longer stick.
Everyone wants to be the Cadbury bunny, because only he brings delicious Cadbury cream eggs, while others may keep trying. No bunny knows Easter better than Cadbury.
Welcome to the show, the one with unimaginable power and endless entertainment. Braves, Padres, two National League beasts under the lights of Sunday Night Baseball. Sunday at 7 on ESPN.
How good was this memory made out in right field? Aaron Judge handing the ball to that young fan, and the young fan was overcome.
Yeah, just what a great scene. I mean, to me, it's what baseball is all about. And you think about, you know, they built the judges' chambers out there, and the judge took a year off and went to center field. So I'm sure the people are really happy to have him back.
And a lifelong fan he's got.
Yeah, that's awesome. Rhys Hoskins will dig his way in. He is another year removed from ACL surgery, so they expect even better from the former Philly this year, and he skies one into shallow left out behind third. Cabrera backs up and makes the play. That's out number one.
Yeah, we got some wind blowing right from pole to pole, right to left. It looks like it's pushing those pop-ups around a little bit. Plus you got the high sky, you got the sun out there, so nothing's going to be routine out there today.
What you will see in this ballpark is, because it's pretty close and it's circular, is the wind's going to swirl, and it's going to go swirl in the ballpark, and it may be blowing from left to right in one area, but it might be right to left in somewhere else.
We had a chance to visit with Pat Murphy, the manager of the Brewers, before the game, and Bill, you hang around these guys all year. You can tell that if there's one guy that lights up the face of Pat Murphy, he's standing at the plate, Sal Frelick.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he's just an all-around athlete. You know, Pat Murphy calls him a winner. And no matter what sport you would throw him in. By the way, he's gained about 20 pounds of muscle. Not the kind of muscle I have now, but not the kind of weight.
The kind of muscle you had.
Yeah, had, but not the kind of weight I have. But he has added a lot of muscle. And, you know, last year's Gold Glove winner out in right field. I mean, there was a lot of talk in spring training a year ago about moving him to third base, but ended up in right field and won a Gold Glove.
1 ball, 2 strikes from Rodon with 1 out, nobody on, and Carlos spins it home. Check swing grounder. It stays 1-2.
Yeah, a pitch that he really struggled with last year. He struggled with the slider, the curveball, the sweeper, where he was hitting under 200. So I would think with Carlos on the mound, he's going to see a few of those today.
Yeah, see some sliders. The Brewers have 4 lefties in their lineup.
Another 1-2 is upstairs, 2-2. You big sweeper guy, you like saying the sweeper thing? That's new since I stepped out.
Well, I think it's a slurve is what it was.
It took me 2 years to call it a sweeper.
Somebody broke you down. 2-2 pitch off the end of the bat, shallow center, and Volpe can't get there. A 1-out base hit.
Yeah, that's what Frelick is going to do. I mean, when he has 2 strikes, he's going to shorten up and just try and put it in play any way he can. slice that ball into left field, just a little bit off the end of the bat, and he's able to dump one into center. So the Brewers finally on the hit board.
Well, you're right. He's a hitter that only strikes out about 15% of the time, and major league average is just over 22. So for him, you're going for weak contact and outs, not necessarily the strikeout.
Yeah, get on first and he can steal second.
Joey Ortiz now hit 239 a year ago. Breaking ball hits the outside corner, and he's not happy with that strike call. Had a couple of looks into the dugout from Brewer hitters in this inning alone, and that caught the corner for strike one.
You can't tap your helmet anymore.
No, I was just going to say you can't challenge. 0-1. There it is again.
See, Carlos was a little bit quicker to home plate there, and against this Brewer club, I mean, this is speed, speed, and speed, and you see a lot of stolen bases, but you see a lot of first to third, so you got to hold these guys close because they will run.
0-2 pitch is a broken back ground ball. Volpe flips out over to first, safe. And the inning will continue for Garrett Mitchell.
And when you have guys that can run, it kind of takes a little bit of the attention away from the hitters. Maybe sometimes pitcher trying to be a little bit quicker to home plate, thinking about the runner at first, maybe hang a breaking pitch, put a fastball where a guy can get a pretty good swing at it. But you're not going to double up Joey Ortiz on a ground ball like that.
And this is a team for Milwaukee, as Garrett Mitchell digs in, that not only does run but has to run. They got to press it, they got to steal bases. They're good in the infield hit department, bunt hits, sacrifices. Kind of a little bit of a throwback team. They steal bags. I mean, they had 5 guys steal 20 plus a year ago. That is a big part of the attack for the Brewers.
And hitting with runners in scoring position, second best in the National League last year in that department.
1 on, 2 out. Ground ball to Chisholm. Mitchell retired, and good start continues for Rodon. 1 zip on the home run by Austin Wells. Yankees bat in the second.
Check it out. He showed up with Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza and his A game. Slicing through the lane, feeding the post. Best delivery guy ever. Peter Zahut. The Cheesy Bites Pizza and new Ranch Lovers Flight. Get it on the Pizza Hut app.
When you want bedtime to be a good time.
Good night, sweetheart.
It matters where you stay. Conrad Hotels and Resorts. Hilton for the stay.
And Doug.
You'll be back. Emus can't help people customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. You're just a flightless bird.
No, he's a dreamer, Frank.
And Doug.
Well, I'll be. That bird really did it.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Saving for retirement was tough enough.
And navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we keep a disciplined approach with your portfolio, helping you through the market's ups and downs.
What about communication?
We check in regularly to keep you informed.
Which means you'll help us stay on track?
Yes, as a fiduciary, we always put your interest first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
On April 25th, the accountant is back. But this time, he brought his brother.
That's him.
It's been a minute.
You like puzzles?
Let me do the talking.
Khaki Pants here wants to scrap.
My brother wasn't having a good time tonight, but now he will.
Is there anything better than punching somebody in the face who's got a comment?
The Accountant 2, rated R, April 25th.
Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is at the plate to lead it off for the Yankees here in the second, leading 1-0, and he takes a strike.
Yeah, a really great addition the end of July last year in 46 games, 11 home runs and 18 RBIs for the Yankees, and added a ton of energy. And he loves to pull the ball in those seats over there.
And so versatile. You can play him just about everywhere, right? And it wouldn't affect his offense.
He came up as a shortstop, started at second, moved to center, and then said, I'll play third. He did a really good job over there. We were impressed at how quickly he could make all the plays. And what helped him over there is he's got a really strong arm. You don't always see that at second base.
And high energy. You can't have enough guys like that.
Especially when you're a veteran team. You know, you look at the Brewers, it's a young team. It's like you
Full
can't tire those guys out.
Yeah, full of high energy guys. You're right.
Ball and 2 strikes on Chisholm. The rookie Jason Dominguez on deck. Here it is from Peralta. It's down 2-2.
This is where Freddie needs to trust his stuff. He gets ahead in the count and maybe not consciously, but trying to make that perfect pitch. Ends up throwing a few too many.
His 2-2 is swung on and missed. 1 away. Second strikeout for Peralta.
Yeah, good changeup. That's another pitch that's coming along nicely for Freddie. Fastball, curveball, throws a slider, changeup, sweeper. He's got them all.
Well, that's probably where he runs into trouble because he's got so many options, right? And a lot of times the guy will try to use 2 pitches when you go through a lineup the first time. Well, he's using all 5 so far. It's hard to get a feel.
Dominguez takes outside, ball 1. What do you think of this young switch hitter, Joe?
Well, I think he's got a chance to be really good, and he's made some adjustments to his right-handed swing, which he struggles a little bit. He's got power, he's got speed.
Chops 1 to second. That is about as automatic and out as there is in the big leagues. As Bryce Terang, the Platinum Glove Award winner, takes care of it. 2 down.
You know, Joe, there's guys that when you hit a ground ball to them, you kind of keep your eye on the play all the way from the glove to the throw.
Yeah.
Because you're never sure. But when you hit a ball to second base, put your head down 4-3.
You're out.
I mean, it's automatic. Automatic.
You see the Platinum Gold Glove winners. Fernando Tatis did it when he was in right field. He was a shortstop that went out there.
Here's a strike to Volpe.
Yeah, that would be a hat tap too, maybe, right?
Anthony Volpe, who hit .243 a year ago, up from .203 his rookie year, won a Gold Glove that year. He's in year number 3 in the big leagues. Hit 12 home runs, stole 28. And he's like you. He grew up over in Jersey and was a Yankee fan as a kid. You, as I'm talking to Bill.
Yeah.
Here's a pop fly into right. Back at the track. This ball will carry and go. Volpe with the second of the day for the Yankees, and it's 2-0 New York here in the second.
Well, I think for Anthony, the important thing for him is to use all fields. Sometimes that hip gets a little bit quick and he gets in the pull mode, but he hit a home run on Saturday in spring training to right field. I was like, man, I like that. That's a good sign. And it's carried over to Thursday, opening day.
Another high fastball goes the other way, and if you're going to hit the right field, this is a place to do it. The jet stream out in right field. That's not a home run in a lot of ballparks.
2 out, and Ben Rice takes a strike. This ball was carried by the wind.
And that's probably 2 home runs he's given up that wouldn't be anywhere else.
Yeah. That was a pop fly into normal right field that ends up in the seats. And Volpe will take it. The count goes to 0-2 on Ben Rice, who is Aaron Boone's kind of pick to click in this lineup. A young guy. Got 50 games in last year. He really thinks he's got a chance to be something special, and they're going to need someone to be something special at that DH spot without Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, they're going to miss him. He was so important to him last year and in the playoffs and his whole career in the playoffs, but sounds like he is doing better. Ben Rice put on 10 pounds of muscle, kind of like Sal, and you can see it in him.
That's a strike over the inside corner to the surprise of Ben Rice. And that was a home run off the bat of Anthony Volpe to the surprise of Freddie Peralta that carried into the seats. 1 row back, maybe 2. 2 solo shots. 2-0 New York.
Eczema isn't always obvious.
Eczema isn't always red.
But now, eczema isn't always going to stop you.
With Ebglyss. Ebglyss is a once-monthly treatment to help those with moderate to severe eczema find real itch relief and real results.
Like skin that's still more clear at 1 year. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Skin that's still more clear, even at 1 year? Clearly, it's possible with Ebglyss.
Talk to your doctor about Ebglyss for eczema.
There's a time and a place for filet of fish. The morning isn't one of them. Set your alarm.
Suni Lee? Bro.
You really think you can outflip me?
Hold my hokers.
That's cute.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Nobody thought this record could be touched.
We're talking about the greatest goal scorer in the history of this.
There is nothing Alex Ovechkin can't do right now.
You're the greatest scorer of this generation, soon to be all time.
Opening day continues on ESPN as the Tigers are in LA to take on the world champion Dodgers. Coming up at 7 on ESPN. The real A-team: Carl Ravitch, Eduardo Perez, David Cohn, Buster Olney. Skubal against Snell. That's a great matchup.
There's going to be a lot of strikeouts tonight. And I know the Dodgers don't strike out a lot, but that Tarek Skubal, he's something special.
Amazing.
Rodon, with just 21 pitches to get through 2 innings, is going to work it home and miss with ball 1 to Vinny Capra.
Well, Aaron Boone talked about the importance of him using his curveball and his changeup and mixing pitches, and we've seen him do that so far. And it gets him deeper into games.
Vinny Capra flat out hit his way onto this roster. He was out of options. He hit 6 home runs in the spring, which is kind of out of nowhere. 30 home runs previously over his minor league career, but here he is. He's part of the depth for the Brewers and getting the start at third base. First time he's been on an opening day roster, and he's in the hole here 1 and 2.
Yeah, and one of the things that allowed him to stay on the team, he was out of options, and it's all about depth and organizational depth, and you don't want to lose them. So other guys, you know, Caleb Durbin had options. They sent him out. But in the Brewers organization, just because you don't make the opening day roster does not mean you're not going to have significant time in the major leagues. They move their roster around quite a bit.
That was something I told players all the time when they got sent down. Right? Just because you're not making the lineup March 27th doesn't mean you're not going to be here at some point. So go down and play well and be ready when the phone rings.
2-2 pitch. He is ripped into left. That ball is smashed and gone. Capra, 6 home runs in the spring, and now in his first opening day start has shot one out to left. It's a 2-1 game.
A quick bat on that fastball. That's kind of the way he was swinging the bat in spring training. So if you're hot in spring training, put him on the team and start him right away, right? Keep him hot.
And if you're in a platoon situation like he'll be a third, you want to come out of spring training and get the start the first day. You don't want to sit for 3 or 4 days. A lot of times that will happen when you're facing a lefty. Man, he jumped all over that.
High fastball as well.
And Carlos has been prone to giving up home runs on his fastball. He gave up 31 total last year.
Here's a base hit into left from the number 9 hitter, Bryce Terang. And it's 1 on, nobody out in a 1-run game as the Brewers are making noise here in the third.
What an improvement Bryce Terang had at the plate a year ago. I mean, a completely different hitter going into spring training last year than the year before. And he has continued that in spring training and now here on the first base hit of the year.
And I almost believe you almost have to play him straight up like you would a right-hander because he shoots the ball the other way so well, and it's exactly what he did there. And he's 50 for 56 in stolen bases last year. Keep him close.
Took him a long time to get thrown out for the first time. I forget how many it was, but it was a ton.
But had you been catching, it would have been the first one he went. Did you tell him that?
I told him I could get you back in the day.
Here is Jackson Churio with one on, nobody out, and that's in the dirt. The count evens at a ball and a strike.
Of course, as you know as well as me, you don't steal in a catcher, it's a pitcher.
That's right. That's what we used to always say.
Say it again what the Brewers did with Churio, Bill. They locked him into an 8-year, $80+ million deal before he ever took an at-bat in the big league.
Yeah, I guess they knew they had something in Jackson Churio, the kid from Venezuela. I mean, young kid. I mean, he's got all the poise and the moxie, the confidence. He got off to a really slow start last year, and he really never did lose his confidence. The Brewers are keeping an eye on his attitude. They wanted to make sure he was still staying positive and working hard, not a harder worker that you'll see. And he is proven to be one of the best young players in the game.
2 balls and a strike as Rodon spins it home, and a foul makes it 2-2.
Yeah, to give you an idea how poised this young guy is, I mean, last year, opening day, he led off against the Mets. And for a 20-year-old, the first at-bat of the year, he walked. I mean, that tells you that he's got a pretty good understanding of his strike zone.
Throw to first, and easily back is Terang.
You know, a lot of times too, when young players are struggling, you watch that attitude, and if that attitude is down and defeated, that's when they get sent down.
Yeah,
but
never happened with him.
And that's why he stayed up and he improved, and he's an MVP candidate. Now, that's a lot of pressure, but
here's a strikeout of Churio for out number 2.
well, he got him on a slider the first time, and it looked like he got him on a pretty good changeup. And I think Carlos has really mixed his pitches well today. And again, you got to pay attention to Terang. Here's the changeup. You're going to see it go away. The last pitch he struck him out was going down and in.
Back foot slider.
Yelich now with 1 on, 1 out. Christian grounded out his first time, a fly ball into center. Bellinger is in to grab it, 2 down. And the inning will continue for William Contreras.
As a pitcher and a catcher, you love those first pitch outs, because the less you show them, the better chance you have of getting them out the 3rd time through. So gets Christian Yelich on a first pitch heater.
And especially if you have a pitcher out there, you know, you got Rodon and you got Peralta. Both of them love to attack early with that fastball.
Here's Contreras. He takes upstairs, ball 1.
And you have a guy throwing the ball well. A lot of times your first strike is the best one to hit.
I looked at anyone was the best one to hit.
Swinging out of my shoes, no matter where it was.
William popped up his first time. Runner at first, 2 down. Terang hasn't taken off yet. That's on the outside corner, a ball and a strike. And as far as Austin Wells is concerned and the job, the improvement he's made behind the plate, a much better, much improved catcher.
Yeah, one of the tops when it comes to framing. They weren't sure that he could be a big league catcher. Above average blocker, average thrower. I mean, he's done a remarkable job, and he has learned to handle pitchers. Pitchers trust him, and that's probably the most important characteristic between the pitcher and catcher relationship, is that trust, and they trust him and love throwing to him.
And the pitchers have to know that he cares about how they do out there in the mound.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Contreras waits for the next. Way high, 2-2.
You know, you talked about how much Adames and Contreras love to play. I looked at, he played in the first 64 games. He started the first 64 games. Now, some of them were DH, but he caught 120, DH 35, 155 games. Boy, that's a luxury to have a catcher like that.
Well, you got to love it when your leaders are guys that want to play every day.
Yes.
They do not want to sit. They come to the ballpark like Robin Yount back in the day. They come to the ballpark to play. I don't want to sit on the bench.
Here comes a 2-2. Check swing. He went around, and that'll end the inning. Vinny Capra said, "You can't get rid of me." Popped 6 home runs during the spring. First at bat, first opening day start. Yak into left field. Cuts the lead in half. 2-1 New York after 2.5.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. We use money as a tool to help all the people we hold in our hearts. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we care about. At Thrivent, we help you plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more.
You could buy on your own. You could get a lender, get viewings. Too small for a yoga studio, too big for a yoga studio, too much character. Get in your car and cry. Get back out there. Get a good one. Tons of natural lights and vibes. Get ready to make an offer. Wait, what? Get your hopes destroyed by Chad, the aspiring DJ downstairs. Get into the fetal position. Or you could get an agent who is a realtor with the expertise and ethical training to help you find the best space for your business.
Any given Saturday. And a little work. And a little play. Hey, little help? And a truck that says no to nothing.
Hi, Dad. Can I give them a ride?
Yeah. The Silverado Trail Boss and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Spring football is back.
More Michigan magic. Showboats do it again.
Stallions, kings of the spring. DC, touchdown.
A UFL kickoff doubleheader, Sunday at noon and 3 p.m. on ESPN.
As we go into the bottom of the third inning, it's a 2-1 game after the Vinny Capra home run, and Reese Hoskins is nice enough to wear a microphone and an earpiece. Reese, they've turned the music off, that heavy bass. Is there any chance you can hear us now?
A little bit. Yankee Stadium opening day is a good atmosphere, so if we can't, we'll take that instead.
Here is Oswaldo Cabrera leading it off for the Yankees as Peralta finds a strike over the inside corner. I mean, we've been talking about up here how exciting it is to be at Yankee Stadium for the opener. I would imagine you guys, even the grizzled vets like you, are excited to be here too.
Oh, come on, it's opening day, you know. It's the start of a 6-month Christmas season for us, so to do it in a cool place like this, right? Like, this is one of the meccas of baseball, I guess you could say, and it just feels like it's baseball.
0-2 the count on Cabrera, and a foul out of play. I would imagine you love, as it gets loud, I don't know if you can hear us, you love this team. It seems like a fun team. You've got a manager that keeps it fun. You got young guys around you. I mean, it's almost like a throwback the way you guys play baseball.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I mean, the energy is contagious, right? Like, all these young guys keep us old guys going. We play a fun brand of baseball. We play the game. We run. We do some of the little things. We hit the ball in the gap. We bunt. So kind of getting back into the weeds of the game again is something that's easy for us players to do. And we also win a lot. So that always makes it a lot better.
1-2 the count on Cabrera. That's foul. Don't worry about it.
Reese, has got to feel good for you. Finally, a normal offseason. You're not rehabbing anything, and you're able to get yourself ready for spring training like you did back in the old days. And you got to be feeling good. How's that knee? How's it all feeling?
I feel great. Yeah, I mean, the normal offseason's a great start. Just to be able to get into the baseball stuff. And instead of having to worry about your body and getting ready for spring, we got to come into camp kind of ready to hit the ground running. So I'm excited for this year. We had a pretty good spring as a group, so hopefully we can hit the ground running here.
1-2 is the count on Cabrera. You guys have a heck of an infield. I mean, the guy to your right is amazing, but all the way around, it seems like you guys are well suited to play defense on the infield behind this pitching staff. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That is sliced down the line and foul.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of joke with some of our coaches that we got 4 shortstops on the infield, including me. No, I mean, we just got great athletes all over the field. Obviously, Bryce, like you said, being able to accomplish what he did last year. But it's not by accident, man. We work a lot. It's something that's important to us. And those pitchers on the mound are relying on us.
Here's a 1-2 again, and a fly ball into center. And easily handled by Mitchell, 1 away.
Reese, I think sometimes we underestimate is how hard it is mentally to come back.
Hold on, I'm not going to hear you.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the top of the order, and Austin Wells, who homered his first time up, digging his way in with 1 out here in the 3rd.
Reese, I was saying, I think we underestimate sometimes how hard it is to come back from a major injury like you had, how mentally difficult it is. Was it more mentally difficult or physically difficult when you were playing last year, saying, do I trust my knee to hold up? Or was it more of a physical, it just didn't have the strength that it had before?
You know, it's probably a combo of both. But I think the physical, you know, leads to the lack of confidence or the mental capacity that we spend on it every day. So, you know, to give you an answer, I think the mental wears on you more just because you don't have the confidence you once did in it. But going through a full year, knowing that I can get through a full season, then having the off season, like you said, all the confidence in the world in it again. And like I said, I'm ready to have a big year with these guys.
1-2 the count on Austin Wells. A rookie a year ago, and he just got a piece of that. We did our own tribute to Bob Uecker. Bob Uecker passed away at the age of 90, but I know he had a big effect on you young players whenever he was around the ballpark.
Yeah, what a legend, right? Legends never die, and this guy's, although he's not with us, you can guarantee you he's watching this up there. Good pitch.
Strikeout for out number 2.
Just a baseball man. Obviously, we wanted to talk about him when he was around, and he wanted to talk about anything but him. But just to get to listen to the stories that he got to tell us, and it's just the best as a ball player. We miss him. We'll miss him every day, but we know he's got us in mind, so we'll take that.
Well, you know what? As Aaron Judge stands in with 2 out, nobody on, and takes the ball, he told me one time you guys kept him young too, though. It worked both ways. I mean, there was a lot of love from that man for you guys as young players, and I think the love that you showed him really kept him going.
Isn't that the beauty of this game?
Yep. There's a strike from Peralta. Looks like Freddie has settled in pretty nicely.
Yeah, he's landing some off-speed stuff here. Obviously, he's got the great fastball. He's starting to establish that too in the zone. Makes that off-speed a lot better. Opening day jitters, you never know, but if he's settling in, he's going to make pitches like that. You see weird takes, you see weird swings, so we'll follow him like I always tell him, and he's starting to set the tone for us here.
Yeah, Reese, Pat Murphy, the first manager of the year for the Brewers. What does he bring to the table for you guys?
Yeah, Murph's a one of one, really. He expects a lot of us to play the right way, but he also, you know, provides a platform to us to be ourselves, get the best out of us. That's a good pitch. It's a good take. That's, I think, the best quality in a manager, when he can get the most out of his players because he lets them be themselves. So obviously he's a fiery guy, and we play like that, but he also keeps it light so that we can just go out and play.
2 out, bases empty, and a swing and a miss. Judge is gone, and the inning's over. Hey, Reese, thank you so much for doing that.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. Happy opening day.
Yep, right back at you. We go to the 4th, 2-1 New York.
I'm Aches.
And I'm Pains.
And we keep you up at night because we're
Aches and Pains.
You think you're sore in the morning because of your age?
You don't hurt because you're old. You hurt because your mattress stinks, which makes our job a lot easier.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Herbal is proven to help you rise refreshed, which is awful.
For us, it's very good news for you.
Do not go to purple.com.
Do not visit a Purple store.
There's news. And there's good news. Like thousands of patients receiving free, life-changing surgeries from volunteer doctors and nurses on hospital ships. All made possible by kindness. We love good news.
Let's do this.
I'm going in. Hi, we're here for
The unlimited plan, $25 a line.
But it comes with
iPhone 16 Pro, one for each of you.
Right now, get $25 a line for the whole family and iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. Get 4 on us. Only on Verizon.
Hey, Mom. Dan is at the park.
Okay, have fun.
Okay, bye.
Well, it is a 2-1 game. Hoskins will lead it off for Milwaukee. Top of the fourth inning, Aaron Boone is with us. And Aaron, you got to be thrilled with the way Rodon has thrown the ball here for the first 3 innings. Must be an ESPN thing with Aaron Boone, who used to work at ESPN. Booney, can you hear us? That's fine. Just manage the game. Don't worry about it.
Do you think he's ignoring you?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I think he is invested in this, and now it's over. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rhys Hoskins. Well, that was fun. It's my fault. I'm the one that got up. I was supposed to do it during the break, and then it's on me.
Well, you are out of practice for baseball.
I am.
It's been a while, Joe, huh?
Been a little bit.
You know, we had a meeting with Aaron Boone today, and I said to Aaron, you know, the only difference between you and Joe is this is 1 of 162 for you, and this is 1 of 1 for Joe.
Yes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Rodon delivers low, 2-2.
It's like riding a bike, though, right?
Yeah, it is. You know, yeah, it is. But, you know, let's talk about the game. Two balls, 2 strikes. Hoskins popped out his first time. A swinging strike, and that is out number 1 here in the 4th.
It's all the same, business and baseball. The data gives you the framework in which to go out and compete. Making those key decisions at key moments and then knowing the impact, that's the magic.
Sage is helping business leaders like Hal Ripken Jr. make smarter, faster decisions.
Sal Frelick at the plate with 1 out, and Rodon is low for ball 1.
You know, we were talking about Sal. He's a tough out. He doesn't swing and miss, but he's a guy that doesn't necessarily drive the ball a lot. And I'm a little bit surprised at how deep they're playing him in center and in left field, because usually guys that don't hit a lot of home runs, the power's to the pull side, but they're kind of playing him deep, and he dropped going in before. I'd be tempted to move my outfielders in a little bit.
Yeah, he can surprise you, though. He gets the count in his favor. He might look to turn on one, especially in this ballpark.
But pull, I would play fairly deep, but in center and in left, I'm thinking about bringing him in a little bit, because his average exit velocity is well below average. I mean, it's 83.5, and average is like 88.5. So, and if you look at his spray chart, there's a lot of stuff dumped in between.
2-2.
I mean, the Braves used to play really shallow, and they say if you hit it over our head, that's our fault, right?
Bellinger good with playing in?
Yeah, I think he would be just fine. I mean, he's such an athletic player, whether you put him at first, left, right, center.
2-2 pitch is grounded to the right side. Goldschmidt and a race. It's won by the hitter Frelick.
There you go.
Rodon was a little late getting over there, and Goldschmidt got to it, looked up, flipped, and then it was basically like close to a tie. And hopefully Rodon, who ended up on the ground, is okay. This ball, he just missed the bag.
Right? Yeah. What shades of the World Series, right?
Speed shows up in a lot of different ways. First to third, stolen bases, but it's also getting out of the box quickly. And that foot just didn't look right when he landed.
Yeah, he's lucky. He might have done something.
Now they're going to go out and check on him and make sure that he's okay.
This would be devastating for the Yankees, who already lost Garrett Cole. They don't have Clark Schmidt. Looks like he's more upset with himself that he didn't get over there.
He just flat missed the bag.
I don't even know if he hit the bag, if Frelick would have been out. It was that close.
I mean, his best bet was probably to try to tag him.
Yeah.
And when you don't face a team a lot, you sometimes underestimate the speed and don't realize the speed of that club. Sal, he can fly.
Yeah, there's no jogging down the line with this Brewers club. They're going to bust it.
It goes down as a hit for Frelick. And the batter is Joey Ortiz. A check on the runner. We haven't seen anybody take off yet. Frelick stole 18 bases last year.
And when you're left-handed and you pull because you're out front, you're also getting a little bit of a head start to first base, which allows him to get there a little bit quicker.
1 on, 1 out. A bunt into the air and out of play. Strike one.
Kind of what Reese was talking about, all the different things that they do. You know, they play baseball is what they do. They don't rely on the home run. They rely more on, you know, taking the extra base and speed. They do have some power, but it's a club that has to create runs. And I've always thought that stolen bases ought to go into OPS because it's an extra base that you get.
That's high, a ball and a strike.
You know the Brewers are going to run, but they just can't, I think, get a good read on Rodon and the move. Lefties and catchers love that, don't they? Didn't you love it when the lefty was out there?
Oh, yeah.
Guys really weren't able to get good jumps.
Team that had 217 steals a year ago. The runner goes, a swing and a ground ball. What a play made by Chisholm for out number 2.
Well, you see the athleticism in Chisholm there. As he's going to cover, he has to kind of reverse course a little bit and make a really difficult play where he has to go in. He's up. Nope, I got to go get this ball. And it's the speed and the arm strength that allows him to get Joey Ortiz an outstanding play.
That underarm flip right on the money.
Brings in Garrett Mitchell with the tying run out at second base and 2 out. So they did start the runner. Ortiz put the bat on the ball, grounds out to Chisholm Jr., and now Brewers looking for a 2-out hit here in the 4th. That's on the outside corner, a strike to Mitchell.
Well, you talked about they run the bases extremely well, and they hit with runners in scoring position. They were 3rd in the National League. They hit 268 last year, so the moments did not get too big for these kids.
And when you're stealing bases and you rely on that, I mean, you got to really. And they really started out like gangbusters. I mean, a lot better than 260 something. Kind of tailed off toward the end, but for the body of work, outstanding. Putting the ball in play with men in scoring position.
1 ball, 1 strike on Garrett Mitchell. Had a tough time staying healthy. When he's healthy, he has got a world of talent. Here it comes from Rodon, and a good pitch. Mitchell comes up empty, strike 2.
Yeah, that slider is such a good pitch for him. Hitters just don't seem to pick it up. They don't seem to hit it. He throws it down and into righties, away from lefties. Hitters only hit 199 on that pitch last year.
Now the 1-2. Out in front of the plate. Rodon makes a play. And after not covering to begin this inning and with 1 out, he just made a nice play coming to the line. Had to grab it, spin, throw, and he got Mitchell by half a step. Bottom of the fourth inning, Yankees bat up 1.
The beach. To Corona, she isn't just a place. She is an element, an energy, a chemistry. And with salt and spray and feel of sand, she shoves us relentlessly into the present, to the place we truly feel alive, where what happens tomorrow is for tomorrow to worry about. That is the true meaning of the beach. And what's inside every bottle of Corona. So no matter where your journey takes you, or what this world throws at you, with just a squeeze of lime, the beach is closer than you think. Corona. La playa awaits.
Yo, I can guard pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
You fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete.
Dix is the GOAT.
Imagine if there was an ESPN sportsbook. You know they'd crush it. I'm talking stats, same-game parlays, live betting, streaming.
Odds boost, exclusive offers. That's literally the ESPN Bet app.
All the action all in one place.
This place.
ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN. Sign up today and receive $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 bet.
I'm thinking of buying a house.
A house? Are you sure?
I don't know anyone that owns a house.
It's a big commitment. Hey, if you can make it work.
I got this.
Pat, tell us about what you're seeing so far from Peralta. Looks like he started to really settle in here.
No, I like the way he's throwing the baseball. You know, he's giving up two hard contacts, and it's a very good offensive ball club. But you know, I'm proud of what Freddie's doing. You know, he's going right after him.
And the legend of Vinny Capra continues. He had the big spring, and now here he is, first opening day start, and he cranks one into left.
No question. He's had a great spring. He's paid his dues in this game. You know, he's a young kid looking for an opportunity, and I'm just proud of him. You know, I'm proud that he stepped up when he got his chance a little bit later than most get their chance.
Appreciate it, Pat. Good luck this year. Thanks.
Okay, you got it.
66-year-old reigning National League Manager of the Year, Pat Murphy. He won that award after taking over for Craig Counsell. He managed Counsell in college at Notre Dame and was a really well-decorated, Murphy was, college baseball manager. Also managed at Arizona State. As Bellinger comes up empty, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he seems to have that role as teacher and motivator and all the things that make him a really talented man in the corner of the dugout for the Brewers.
Yeah, and he has nicknames for just about every one of his players, and none of them really make a whole lot of sense. It's just what pops into his head when he thinks about that particular player, and I don't know half of them, but anyway, he's a guy that, you know, has really earned his the opportunity to manage in this game. He was an interim manager with the Padres for a little bit. But Pat Murphy has certainly paid his dues, and it paid off for this Brewers ball club last year. First time the Brewers had a Manager of the Year award winner.
And you think about him being the head coach in college, a lot of his players are almost college age.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, and he has such a great relationship with them.
Fouled back by Bellinger, who struck out his first time. Goldschmidt will follow, then Jazz Chisholm Jr.
And Murph will be the first to tell you that he really relies on his coaching staff. A lot of managers do not. They take their considerations, but, you know, Murph really allows them to do their thing.
This will be at least an 8-pitch at bat for Cody Bellinger to start this fourth.
And I think that's really important, because in this game there's so much on a manager's plate that you can't micromanage. And if you have coaches, you should trust them. Just do your job.
2-2 again is hit hard and through the right side. A base hit. And with that, we will send it to Kevin Connors for an update. Kevin.
All right, Joe, 2 straight years in the playoffs for the Orioles. Big expectations again. And how's this for a start for Adley Rutschman? 19 home runs a season ago. His 4th career shot off Jose Barrios. The O's have added another one, Joe. It's 2-zip.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. 1 on and nobody out for Goldschmidt, former Cardinal and Arizona Diamondback. How do you look, Joe, at the AL East? We get the update about the Orioles. It's going to be a tough division, and the Red Sox are much improved, and Toronto's still good. It goes on and on.
I think Baltimore's going to be good. They did lose Corbin Burns, and that's a hard guy to replace, and they have some injuries in their staff, their pitching staff. So does Boston. I think the division will be very competitive, and I believe it will come down to the last week.
Goldschmidt grounded out his first time in the hole here, 0-2.
You're happy to see Goldschmidt in New York, right?
My goodness. Only have to face him once this year. I mean, he has had an all-star career against the Brewers alone in his time. I mean, the numbers that he's been able to put up against the Brewers, particularly Freddie. He did really well against Freddie in his career.
He's got 145 hits against Milwaukee pitching, 29 home runs, and 89 RBIs over the years.
In 132 games. So he's still got 30 games left.
Here's where he ranks among active players in those big categories. MVP in 2022, almost walked right into that one, 2-2.
And a Gold Glover over at first base.
And a smart base runner. I mean, 11 for 11 in stolen bases. I mean, there's really nothing he can't do.
Sneak attack.
Yeah. You forget about it. You see how big he is. You don't think he's going.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and a check on the runner, Bellinger. I think Goldschmidt is a good fit here, especially with that short right field porch. His stroke, when he is going well, he will check on those fans out in right field as a Yankee.
Make sure they're okay. He'll hit
Make sure he'll
write a note on the ball when he hits it out there.
I mean, you know, he got it together the last month of the year. He did not have a good year with St. Louis, and that was a problem throughout the Cardinals lineup. But he started to figure it out the last month, and he's just a pro. I mean, I think he'll do well.
You know, the body changes over time, right? You're not as quick with the fastball at his age than he was early in his career. He's always kind of been a slow starter, right? I mean, he hasn't been always been able to get off to a good start. Maybe the cold weather, he doesn't like that. But, you know, he's going to end up putting up some numbers in this ballpark for sure.
Career 289 hitter waits. 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and strikeout number 6 for Freddie Peralta. 1 on, 1 out. You can suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. Here is Chisholm.
Well, he just threw another outstanding changeup. He has not used his slider very much today. It's been the curveball and changeup. It's been of choice, and the fastball up in the zone. But again, and you still say he has a sweeper. I don't think we've seen one yet. But
right.
He's got pretty good command of those 3 pitches today.
He's going to what feels comfortable for him here today.
1 on, 1 out. Chisholm comes up empty, a ball and a strike.
Yeah, these guys, they warm up in the bullpen, and the starting catcher that day will go down there and finish him up, maybe the last 15, 20 pitches or so, to get a sense for what he's throwing. But how many times, Joe, have you seen a guy have one thing in the bullpen and doesn't translate on the field during the game?
A lot, probably too many times.
1-1 pitch, check swing, he did not go, ball 2.
Because you walk out of the bullpen and you got your plan in your head, and all of a sudden you got to reverse courses because they don't seem to find it on the mound.
Yeah,
but
what happened to that slider I had in the bullpen, right?
Yeah. You left it down there. Could somebody go get it?
Hoskins holds against Bellinger at first. That's down, 3-1.
David Cohn, who's doing the game tonight, the Dodger game, kicked me out of the bullpen one day at Yankee Stadium because he was not throwing the ball well, and he said, I don't want you to see what I have right now because you may have a different thought in your head about how we're going to get people out. He kicked me out. He said, get out. I caught like 2 pitches.
Wow.
3-1 pitch off the end of the bat, full count.
Is he typically a guy that did that?
He was emotional, but it was the only time he ever kicked me out of the bullpen. And you see how much confidence that Peralta has in his changeup. There's a 3-1 changeup. And it was actually his most effective pitch last year. Hitters only hit 218, but there was no damage on it. Only a slug of 291. That's minuscule.
Felt like from the booth at least that Cone by the end of his career was inventing stuff out on the mound.
Well, he was creative from day one when I caught him, and I think it was probably why it was so enjoyable. Yeah, I mean, he would change arm angles, his breaking ball on his split, his fastball. He knew he had to evolve.
This is popped up on the infield. Good luck. The shortstop Joey Ortiz is the one who comes down with it. And that's 2 outs here in the inning. Changeups have been good for Freddie Peralta in this game.
Yeah, it's all about the arm angle, the same motion with the fastball. You're able to see him do that. He does grunt on a lot of his pitches, and he got to grunt again on the changeup. But the high fastball has been effective, although the 2 home runs that he's allowed have been on those high fastballs today.
You know, his changeup reminds me of Felix Hernandez a lot. It was really hard. It was 90 miles an hour. And we used to, is that a sinker or is it a changeup? But he's got such great arm action, and the bottom falls out. You know, he's got that ride on his fastball, but on his changeup, it's really just like a hard, effective sinker.
Freddie's retired 6 of the last 7 hitters he's faced since that second home run that was hit by Volpe. Up high into the air and blowing into the seats in right. Strike 1 to Jason Dominguez. Strike 2.
Yeah, that's really good location with 96. And he hasn't showed him the fastball up in this at bat. I mean, he can do a lot of different things. He could back foot him with his slider. He could throw the changeup below the zone or the fastball up.
Changeup is his best secondary pitch today.
Bellinger led off with a base hit. He's still at first, 2 out. 0-2 pitch is high.
And that's the other thing that I've always been impressed with Freddie, how he has the ability to add and subtract from his fastball. When he needs a little extra, it's in there. I mean, that was 97.
Anywhere between 93, 97.
1-2. Clunked over to the right side. Hoskins off the bag, gets it, and on we go into the 5th. Good pitching here in game number 1. 2-1. Yankees on top.
This week on Survivor, Yellow Jackets edition.
It's been a tough couple of days for me. The spike pits.
Do not get impaled.
She slipped. The wolf challenge. What are we even gonna eat?
Shauna, the tribe has spoken, and they're hungry.
Whether you like Yellow Jackets, Survivor, or a little bit of both, find your mountain of entertainment on Paramount Plus.
Verizon and AT&T announced price hikes a total of 10 times in the past 2 years. Families can switch to T-Mobile and get all the benefits of their plans while saving 20%. T-Mobile blows the competition away.
That if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You gotta know when to hold. Pull 'em already.
Know when to fold 'em.
Know when to walk away.
Travel.
Know when to run. Run, run, run.
He's automatic from the 40.
You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
With hundreds of sales every week, eat well for less at Whole Foods Market.
Barbara Banda is your favorite player's favorite player. Facts. Nobody faster, stronger, or savvier. Barber and Orlando take on San Diego. Saturday noon on ESPN.
Hey, Aaron, you've got to be really happy with the way Carlos is pitching in this game.
Yeah, I feel like he's been really under control for the most part, just filling up the strike zone and using his pitches. So, yeah, I feel like he's done a good job of navigating his emotions just because, he can be a fiery guy, and, I've been pleased so far.
You told us before the game some of your young guys are going to have to step up. They're going to have runway to do so, and right out of the gate, Austin Wells goes deep, and then later Volpe. Pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool. Both those guys have been swinging the bats well. I mean, Austin was tearing the cover off the ball really all spring, and Anthony's actually been swinging the bat really well, especially of late. So, and he's been doing that really well, hitting the ball with authority the other way. So good to see.
Thanks, Aaron. Have a great year.
All right, thank you.
Year number 8 for Aaron Boone as manager of the Yankees. As Vinny Capra took a strike, now another, and he is in the hole 0-2.
And the one thing I've noticed about Carlos a little bit these last couple innings, and it's kind of since he tripped at first, the velocity has not been on his fastball. So I'm going to watch this kind of closely to see if he's holding back a little bit.
Capra homered his first time up, waits for the 0-2, and takes one just outside, ball 1. Capra, then Terang, the 8-9 hitters, and then back to the top, Churio. 2-1 game. 1-2 pitch.
A little uncomfortable out there, doesn't he, Joe?
He
that
does.
last pitch right there, he kind of like spun around and looked into the outfield, and
he will do some funny things on the mound just because he gets a little upset with himself at times, and Booney talks about controlling his emotion.
There's a strikeout to start the inning, number 5. Let's get back to Kevin Connors with another update. Kevin.
Yeah, and Joe, it's not opening day without this. Tyler O'Neill with 2 aboard. That's his 6th consecutive opening day with a home run, extending his own big league record. Joe, Austin Wells made Yankees history. O'Neill makes big league history.
It's just his day.
6 straight opening days with a homer?
That's just hard to believe. And that would be, I guess, in his time with St. Louis.
Boston.
He came over originally from the Mariners organization, but St. Louis, Boston, and now in a new uni, but same old story on opening day.
I would like to hit 6 homers in a year.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Terang. 1 ball, 1 strike. .62 pitches for Rodon as he tries to get through the 5th. This is a Yankees team. They love their bullpen when healthy. They've got some guys who are out here at the start of the season. Guys they will get back as the season goes on. The guy they won't get back is Garrett Cole, who is out for the year after having Tommy John surgery. There are aces and then there are aces, and Garrett Cole is, former Cy Young Award winner. He's as good as it gets. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Terang with 1 out. 2-2.
Well, there's 96, so to me that's a better sign than what I was seeing, but we've seen a lot of off speed, a lot of changeup, a lot of sliders since that time, but he still has it in the tank when he needs it.
Yeah, just don't need max effort every pitch, right?
Well, that's how you go deep in games, and you
save
stay
it.
off the IL.
Yeah, save it.
2-2 pitch now to Terang. Full count.
Yeah, Terang has really learned his patience up at the plate. What comes first, success at the plate or patience, right? I mean, if you're feeling good at the plate, you're seeing the baseball, you trust your hands, you know that you can take close pitches off the strike zone.
He went around. That's out number 2 and back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, Bill, I would say that's your fault.
Yeah, that was on me. I apologize.
Complimenting him so much, and he gets this nasty slider. He didn't really throw him a good slider until that one, and he gets him. And
I'm 0 for 1. What's new?
Yeah.
10 swing and misses so far for the Brewers through 4 2/3, and we go back to the top of the order, and Jackson Churio. Strike one.
Man, that's a really good curveball first pitch. You know, he shows it a lot first pitch.
Dialed in.
So he doesn't have to show all his other stuff early in the count, and it's almost like a free strike. Love it.
Could strike out the side.
Just let me repeat it.
Just wearing out those edges.
We talk so much about velocity and spin rates and stuff like that. It still comes down to locating.
Location, right.
0-2. He did. Struck out the side, and Churio has struck out all 3 plate appearances in this game. Halfway through it, still 2-1 New York.
ShipStation lets you keep up with the growth of your business. You can sync inventory and manage returns across all your sales channels, so you ship the right products to the right customers. Head to ShipStation.com to start your free trial.
Hey, I'm Daniel, one of the founders of Ridge. My dad and I realized that most wallets are falling apart, stuffed to the max, and barely fit in your back pocket. So we set out to create something better. Ridge is built to last a lifetime and is the perfect balance of modern style and durability. Find yours at ridge.com.
After Homoglow cleaned our place for $19, we fired our old housekeeper. Homoglow tackled everything, from our kitchen to our bathroom, all our laundry. You just pick a date, pick a cleaner, and enjoy a spotless house for $19.
Back for another flounder fish sandwich?
And a shrimp tackle box.
Let us do the fishing while y'all enjoy seafood that you'll love. Get them before they're gone.
Attention, Sweet 16!
Let's dance.
It is March Madness, baby. March Madness, Sweet 16 on ESPN.
Hey, my treat today. Thank you. But I don't think they take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted at 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past. Unlike me.
You look rad.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all of them.
You know what's smart? Enjoying a fresh gourmet meal at home that you didn't have to cook. Upgrade your plate with Factor. Chef crafted, dietitian approved, ready in 2 minutes. Eat smart with Factor.
Our first Sunday Night Baseball of the season. The Atlanta Braves are in San Diego to face the Padres. It's 7 on ESPN. Baseball tonight. Sunday Night Countdown gets it started at 6 p.m. Strike one on Anthony Volpe, homered into right his first time up. 2-1 still. Yankees on top. His home run the difference in the ball game right now. The count 1 ball 1 strike.
Bill, in all the starts that you've seen Freddie Peralta, have you seen him throw this many changeups?
He's
really, right-handers, left-handers?
Yeah, he was doing that a little bit toward the end of last year, but then in spring training, he was really starting to develop the changeup in a big way. And we've been talking about the sweeper, right? He started throwing a sweeper this year. We haven't seen hardly any of those, right?
I don't think we've seen one.
You got to go with the comfort level on opening day at Yankee Stadium, right? I mean, with this lineup. But the changeup's been a huge pitch for him today.
Here's a 1-2. Skips in there, 2-2.
That might have been the first slider he's thrown all day. Kind of looked like it too a little bit.
About Freddie's, pitches. I mean, you never know what his pitches are going to do. It used to be where he would throw a slider, the way it came out of his hand and his arm angle, it would look more like a sweeper. He really didn't know when that pitch was going to be going toward home plate at any point in time, but he's kind of figured it out.
Full count now as Brian Hudson, a left-hander, starts to move around out of the bullpen for Milwaukee. And now up throwing. Here's a 3-2 pitch from Peralta. Struck him out. Strikeout number 7 for the Milwaukee right-hander, who just blew it right past Volpe.
You You got to love a good pitcher's duel, right? Both of these guys on the top of their games. Just 3 home runs, accounting for the runs. Another high fastball. Freddie able to get it by him.
Here is Ben Rice, one of 3 left-handed catchers the Yankees have on their roster. Takes outside ball 1.
Well, I don't think it's a surprise that Freddie's striking a lot of guys out. Over 200 the last 2 years. Since 2021, only Snell and Burns have a higher strikeout rate per 9 innings. So this is what he does.
Peralta's 1-0 pitch is fouled back, and what a rip by Rice. See the most strikeouts in baseball the last 2 seasons. He's on that list. Dylan Cease up top. There was some chatter that maybe Dylan Cease could end up a Yankee once Garrett Cole went down. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That is hammered into right. Back at the wall and off the wall. Rice is going to dig and make it to second with a double with 1 out on a sinking line drive that was crushed into right.
Yeah, that's what we saw a lot of this spring. The exit velo was up. He was #1 in baseball in this year in spring training, and it's a mistake on a fastball that kind of cuts to the middle of the plate, and Sal Frelick, so good in right field, kind of fumbles it. I don't think Ben Rice was going to go to second base. It'd be interesting to see how they scored. It looks like they give him a single and an E9.
That's right. Single E9, runner at second, 1 out. The #9 hitter Cabrera, who fly to center his first time up, waits and flies one into center again. Where Garrett Mitchell makes the play, 2 down.
Hey, you don't see this much out of Sal Frelick out in right field. If he does pick it cleanly, played it perfectly off the wall. But there's the fumble, there's the error, and Rice able to get into second base. He was not going if Sal was able to keep that ball in his glove.
Well, you think about most ballparks, if you hit the ball off the right field wall, it's a double, but not here at Yankee Stadium. It's like Boston and left.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed, and he probably rushed a little bit more than he had to. Never playing here, and it led to an extra base.
Runner at second, 2 out, ball 1. We told you that Austin Wells, who's at the plate, became the first catcher to hit a leadoff home run on opening day. He's also the first player in Yankees history to hit a leadoff home run on opening day. And he tries to just come up with anything to get the runner Rice home from second, 2 out in the inning, and a lead of 2-0.
You think about Austin Wells, he really struggled against left-handers last year. Not against Freddie Peralta on this high heater that he jumps on top of and hits it a Yankee Stadium home run. But with Aaron Judge behind him, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of left-handers come in and face him.
Yeah, you're going to get some pretty good pitches to hit. That's a pretty good seat in the lineup.
Yes.
2-0 pitch is down. 3-0.
So just when you think you're not going to want to walk Wells to get the Judge, he's got a 3-0 count.
A home run by Wells, as you see, thanks to StatCast. A home run in one ballpark in the big leagues, this one.
Yankee Stadium. A lot of left-handers and right-handers that like to go to right field.
Here comes it 3-0. 3-1. Rice with a 1-out single. Took second on the error out in right by Frelick. He's out there with 2 out. And now 2 on, 2 out for Judge. That's the first walk of the ball game for Peralta. And Contreras out to talk.
Command of both of these pitchers today has been really good. The only walk in the game. But Bill, like you talked about, Freddie a lot of times goes into deep counts and his pitch count gets up there. He's at 88. He's not through the 5th inning. I would imagine this would be his last hitter.
Last year against the Mets on opening day, he went 6. But I think maybe able to manage the pitch count a little bit better.
Aaron Judge is at the plate. trying to deliver with 2 outs here in the 5th. He's flying to center. He struck out. He's the reigning AL MVP, 58 home runs a year ago. Big rip and a strike.
Kind of dangerous. Starting off middle in with 95, about thigh high.
Yeah, up in his zone. Ooh.
He's had some success throwing that changeup to him, and so have other right-handers. So I would think that you would see a few in this at bat. Maybe that was to set up the changeup.
96 and past the bat of Judge. 0-2. Nothing fancy here so far.
Here it is, hit it if you can.
.32-year-old waits for the 0-2 pitch from Peralta. Ball 1.
Yeah, it's going to get a little bit tougher on the hitters now that both the pitcher and the home plate circle is in the shade and the outfield wall is sun. It makes it really difficult.
Tough on the eyes.
2 on, 2 out, 1-2 pitch. Instead, Peralta steps off.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really hard to pick up spin, and you can turn the lights on, and it does help some as the lights are on at Yankee Stadium, but it's still really difficult on hitters.
1-2 pitch is in the dirt, and well played by Contreras to keep the runners at first and second. 2-2.
Well, he has really done a good job blocking balls like that. I mean, that was a huge block. Those guys advancing bases, but even when he's on one knee, he's able to get down and block them.
What does Judge have in store for the home crowd on opening day? Strikes out to end the inning. And Contreras fires the ball up toward the upper deck. He got it up there after the strikeout. And Peralta struck out 2 in the inning. He's got 8 in the game. And his biggest out right there through 5, 2-1 Yankees.
What are folks 60 and older learning these days?
New perspectives.
How to fix things.
Fun recipe.
With Verizon, trade in any phone in any condition. And get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with AI and a watch and tab all on us. That's up to $1,900 in value, only on Verizon.
Yo, these KDs are fire.
KD, you work here?
Whatever, kid. Take notes. Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
You might know Harbor Freight for affordability. What you might not know is performance and durability go right along with it. You see, we test, and then we test again. World-class engineering and rigorous testing to ensure our tools perform at the highest level and stand the test of time without testing your wallet. Now, it's time for you to put us to the test. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Your players, baseball your way. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app today. Rodon back for more, and spinning out of the way is Christian Yelich. A ball 1 underway in the 6th inning, 2-1 game.
Looks like the Yankees have a little action in their bullpen. It's like Mark Leiter Jr., who these Milwaukee Brewers have seen a lot with the Cubs.
That's down 2-0. You know, it's game one, 5 innings. These two starters have been really good here today.
Yeah, you have to be really impressed. And I would think for Rodon, who threw 77 his last start, I mean, he's let him go through this inning and probably be it.
If he can get through it, there's a strike as Yelich comes up empty, 2-1.
And if you could get through it, it sets up really nice, because what do you worry about with the Milwaukee Brewers? Their speed. So you can bring in Tim Hill, another lefty. Then you can bring in Luke Weaver, who's quick to home, and then you got Devin Williams, if it goes according to plan.
2-2.
They're pretty much taking the Brewers out of their game when they can't run. Of course, they haven't had a lot of base runners. Yeah, Rodon has been terrific.
2-2 on its way, and it's inside, full count.
Not a pitch he throws very often, but he just threw a changeup to Christian Yelich.
Not many guys do that to lefties, right?
Left on left crime right there.
Former National League MVP Christian Yelich back is healthy, ready to go in 2025. Waits for a 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4. Rodon wanted it, didn't get it, and Yelich draws the first walk of the game, issued by Carlos Rodon. And the batter will be William Contreras with a tying run on, nobody out. Strike one.
You know, you talk about all the speed within Brewers club. They have 5 guys in top sprint speed in the top 47. So they have 5. I mean, there's 30 teams, right? And Christian Yelich isn't even one of those, and he was 21 for 22 in stolen bases. Just a really good base runner.
Only played 73 games, was leading the league in hitting when he went down. He was an all-star this past year and ended up having discectomy back surgery in August. 1-1 pitch is down and in, 2-1.
And when he's healthy, there's not a better base runner in all the game. I'm not talking about just stolen base. I'm talking about going first to third, first to home. I mean, the way he cuts the bags, it's an amazing thing to watch. He really does cut down the distance between the bases.
2 balls and a strike. Slowly hit. Volpe will get the lead man, and that's it. Volpe and Chisholm did all they could, but that ball just not hit hard enough to turn 2, and Contreras is on with 1 out.
Yeah, that was a pretty slick play. I mean, it was close. I don't think the Yankees are going to review that, but you see the arm strength in Chisholm and the quickness. He has not forgotten how to play second base.
No, he's been pretty good. And William Contreras busted it down that line to avoid the double play.
And now the batter, Hoskins. That's ball 1. 6 ground outs against Rodon, and now the Brewers are 0 for 8 with runners on base. Popped 26 home runs last year with that low average. Healthier this year with the knee, and takes a strike.
And had a really good spring training. Was looking good, not just at the plate, but his mobility around first base. As we were talking to him earlier in the game, finally had a normal spring training.
Here's a 1-1. Ball 2.
Something I found interesting, he swung at the first pitch of the game. Now Reese does not swing at the first pitch very often. He's a guy that led the National League in pitches per plate appearance, but he was trying to jump him knowing that he was going to probably get a first pitch fastball, but that's what he did in the end. Always been patient, gets deep into counts.
Ahead on the count here, and now the count even 2-2. I mean, the Yankees are going to need more, even coming off a good season last year. Rodon, without Garrett Cole, everybody moves up. Max Fried, who they signed to that big free agent deal, gets the ball in game 2. 2-2 pitch. Spoiled it.
You think about, Freddie talked about that he knew that he was going to be the #1 starter when he got to spring training. He was starting opening day. Well, everyone knew that Garrett Cole was going to start opening day. It just wasn't announced. And then all of a sudden, you lose him. You lose Luis Hill, and you lose Clark Schmidt, and you got to rearrange your whole rotation. And they did move Max Fried. Max Fried was scheduled to be Saturday starters. We see him right there. And they had to manipulate Carlos Rodon. That's not easy to do because you go to spring training with a plan and all the side sessions and the BPs are set up. The first game, when you start, now all of a sudden you got 2 starters that go down, and then that's not easy to do.
But you'd rather get moved up in the rotation and move down, right?
Yeah, well, I think everybody got moved up because of all the injuries.
Yeah.
And Marcus Stroman showed up as the odd man out, looking to, I'm a starter, is what he said. And about an hour later, he was the #3 starter.
Yeah.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Hoskins doing a good job of spoiling some of these Rodon deliveries to stay up there.
Just really uncomfortable out there on that at bat in this sequence. He's just trying to get the bat on the baseball. It's been impressive watching both of these guys attack these offenses today.
Now Tim Hill, the left-hander, has joined Leiter in the bullpen for the Yankees. Here comes another 2-2 pitch. 8th pitch of the at-bat. And it'll be at least 9.
I mean, I'm sure Aaron Boone was probably hoping to get Carlos Rodon through Sal Frelick, but he may not be able to now with the bat that Reese is putting on him, and it changes the whole complexion of how you get through this game.
This could be a turning point, this at bat. I mean, who wins this long battle, right? Does the pitcher get it? Does Reese get one to hit? They say the more pitches you see, the more comfortable you are up at the plate. We'll see.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That's high, and the count's full.
Don't think you're going to see Contreras take off. He's not one of those guys that's going to steal a lot of bases, but
Reese is a big strikeout guy.
10th pitch of the at-bat coming right here on 3-2. And it bounces in to put 2 on with 1 out. 2 walks in the inning, the first 2 of the game. And with Frelick coming up, Aaron Boone is coming out. You've got Frelick coming up, Hill and Leiter in the bullpen. 1-run game, the 6th inning on opening day.
Gary, used car shopping can't hurt you.
But what if I overpay?
Come out and I'll show you a better way.
Well, you said...
I know. I said nearly half of all used cars have been in an accident, but there's no reason to shop with fear.
Well, show me, Carfox.
Knowing how a car's accident history impacts price means you don't have to overpay.
I wasn't scared.
Sure. Can we talk about the PJs?
I'll talk about them, as long as you keep it positive, because I like these things.
No fear, just Fox. Say show me at Carfax.com.
It's your phone. With Verizon, trade in any phone in any condition.
Whole flight info from notes, send to mom.
And get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with AI and a watch and tab all on us. That's up to $1,900 in value. Only on Verizon.
Oh,
chips.
Dip. That looks good.
This looks good.
Or you can kiss me on a Tuesday at 2.
Honey, maybe we should get another one.
You want to get 2 more?
Yeah.
It's buy one, get one half off.
Cool.
Mom, it's on sale.
I can see that. Get 7 days of big deals. It's Target Circle Week.
Rated T for teen.
The world is wild, filled with untamable forces. And when dormant dangers awaken, we are called upon. to restore balance to the wilds. We are hunters. Monster Hunter Wilds. Available now.
PlayStation.
Carlos Rodon had an outstanding day today, going 5 1/3 and striking out 7. And it was because he located his fastball in the corners, whether it was away from right-handers or in, and then he had a devastating slider that went down and in and got a number of strikeouts on that. So he had a really good day. Gets the Yankees into the 6th inning and turns it over to Tim Hill, who was a ground ball machine.
Interesting arm angle, really tough on left-handers. Tim Hill, that sidearm delivery.
Into the game to face Sal Frelick with 2 on 1 out, and a foul starts the at-bat. Hill, one of 3 lefties in the bullpen for the Yankees. They added Ryan Yarbrough late after he was cut loose by Toronto.
Yeah, I think it's a really good addition to help Tim, but he did a really good job with the Yankees last year. And again, there are so many balls hit on the ground. Probably can't turn to on Sal unless he hits a bullet, maybe to the second baseman, Jazz, but you want to keep the ball on the ground, so it makes it tough to score.
Lead runner is Contreras. Trail runner is Hoskins. Strike 2.
Now, Joe, you were talking about shortening the outfield. Looks like they have done that in this at bat. A little bit more shallow, maybe trying to cut off that run should Frelick dump one into the outfield.
He's got 2 softly hit singles in this game, but he's 2 for 2. Dealing with another left-hander, waits for the 1-2. Outside, 2-2. For all our exit velo fans, Frelick's 2 singles, 67.1 and 87.1. For all the old school fans, they count as line drives in the box score.
2 rockets.
There's another foul.
Exit velo's overrated. It's not how, it's how many in this game.
You can see he's throwing 5 sinkers in a row. He has a slider. He does not throw it much. Carlos probably would have thrown him a slider by now, but not Tim Hill.
Left side, Volpe charges and gets a lead man at third. Good play, 2 out.
You know, that's a communication play where Anthony Volpe has to remind Cabrera at third base, look, if it's to my left, I'm going to second. If it's to my right, go to third base so I can throw it to you and get the lead runner.
And Cabrera went right there like you were talking about. I mean, no real doubt in his mind where he was going.
2 out in the inning for Joey Ortiz, who has grounded out twice. Hill trying to shut the door on the top of the 6th inning, finds strike 1. During spring, the Brewers were toying around with the middle infield spots and had Ortiz at second for a bit and Turang at short. Here's the 0-1. That's strike 2. And a little tendonitis in the throwing shoulder for Turang, so they put him back at second and put Ortiz at short as they try and fill the void left with the departure of Willy Adames. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt.
I think defense is going to be just fine up the middle for the Brewers. Replacing Adames' offense, that'll be another issue. Defensively, they're going to be strong. I mean, the best defensive team in the National League last year.
Adames, 32 home runs, 112 RBIs, took his talents to San Francisco. 1-2 pitch. Reaching for it, slow roller, going to be tough. No play and a base hit. So the little clunker down the third baseline, Oswaldo Cabrera wisely did not try and get the runner Ortiz going down the line, and it's bases loaded with Mitchell's spot coming up, and instead it'll be Isaac Collins off the bench.
Well, I know how much you love exit velocity.
Yes.
That was 23.9. Will that be the slowest hit all year?
Overrated exit velocity.
It's
Come on.
not how hard, it's where.
Yeah.
Craving more baseball? Just tell Siri, show me today's MLB schedule.
Well, Aaron Boone sent the pitching coach out to talk. That was Matt Blake, who went out to have a conversation. The bases are loaded with 2 down. The batter is the pinch hitter, Isaac Collins. Batting for Mitchell. What a spot for Collins. His first opening day, and he takes a strike.
And Collins, a Rule 5 selection by the Brewers from the Rockies. Got him back in 2022.
Next pitch is outside, 1-1.
You see the numbers, only 18 at bats last year. It's a pretty crowded outfield with all these young players. And you get a switch hitter here, hoping that he can do something against Tim Hill.
What a chance for Collins. He takes strike 2, 1-2. Well framed by Austin Wells. The next. That hit the leg of Collins. Foul ball. And the count stays 1-2.
That's what he sees. He sees the pitcher just his feet in the sun and a bunch of shadows.
Got him on the foot.
And first pitch that he's thrown him, that hasn't been on the outside corner.
Bases loaded, 2 out, 1-2 pitch. Ball 2. With Austin Wells, the catcher, the pitcher, Tim Hill, and a couple members of the defense for the Yankees headed for the dugout.
And a manager yelling at the umpire.
Two. Just got a piece. Here is that pitch that was called ball 2.
Marvin Hudson got it right, but I tell you, the one thing is catchers can make a lot of pitches look like strikes.
Yeah.
As a manager, I used to yell a lot.
Early in that at bat, they were strikes.
The only thing I knew I could really tell was up and down, not in and out. Didn't keep me from yelling though.
2-2 is fouled away.
And because he only has that one pitch, really, that he throws, the more Isaac sees it, the more comfortable he's going to get with it, and it makes it a tougher out for Tim Hill.
I'll try to get him inside here.
The next, fouled back. Pretty good rip there.
He did come inside. Have him leaning out over the plate, try to jam him. He did. A good piece of hitting by Collins to stay alive.
9th pitch of this at bat coming right here with the bases loaded, 2 out. Here it is on 2-2. Left side, Volpe, the high hop, and the force out. Got him to end the inning. And good work by Tim Hill. We're into the bottom of the 6th. Brewers leave the bases loaded, trail by 1.
Any given Saturday. And a little work. And a little play.
Hey, little help?
And a truck that says no to nothing.
Hi, Dad. Can we give them a ride?
Yeah.
The Silverado Trail Boss and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Eczema isn't always obvious.
Eczema isn't always red.
But now, eczema isn't always going to stop you.
With Ebglyss. Ebglyss is a once-monthly treatment to help those with moderate to severe eczema find real itch relief and real results.
Like skin that's still more clear at 1 year. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Skin that's still more clear, even at 1 year? Clearly, it's possible with Ebglyss.
Talk to your doctor about Ebglyss for eczema.
What do
thought this record could be touched.
We're talking about the greatest goal scorer in the history of this.
There is nothing Alex Ovechkin can't do right now. You're the greatest scorer of this generation, soon to be all time.
Well, we got a pitcher's duel here at Yankee Stadium on opening day. All the runs scored today via the home run ball. The Yankees have hit 2, and the Brewers with 1. Both of these starting pitchers doing a heck of a job. You would expect nothing less on opening day at Yankee Stadium.
New pitcher into the ball game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees bat leading by a run. Brian Hudson will take over. Really strong effort by Freddie Peralta, who goes 5. He allowed the 2 solo home runs. A total of 4 hits. Struck out 8 and walked 1.
Tim Hudson with a huge year a year ago. Coming over from the Dodgers.
Strike is in from Hudson.
Number 1 left-hander out of the Brewers bullpen a year ago.
Here's the 0-1. Take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud, and for Cody Bellinger since 2021, his contact rate.
Yeah, it really changed when he went to Chicago, and it made him a much better hitter. But with the contact rate, the hard hit rate went down, and it was actually a little bit below major league average, but he was very successful, hit left-handers, was not striking out nearly as much in the teens. It was a much tougher out.
A lot of that approach has to do with the hitters around you, right? Don't you think? I mean, if you're on a team with a bunch of boppers and you're going to hit home runs like the Yankees, you're not so concerned about hitting 30, 40 home runs, right?
3-1 pitch is down, and a leadoff walk is handed to Cody Bellinger to start this 6th inning. As we send it to Kevin. Kevin?
All right, Joe, great opening day matchup in San Diego. Braves and Padres. Former Yankee Michael King with a 2-1 lead until Ozzie Albies does that. A 2-run shot, his 2nd career opening day homer. He's got all 3 runs batted in a 3-2 game.
All right, KC, thank you very much. 1 on, nobody out, and a strike is into Goldschmidt.
Must have been some prerequisite that he had to be sidearmed to pitch in the 6th inning if he came out of bullpen today. And left-handed.
0-1 the count. And the next, a big swing and a miss. Strike 2 in the game. In his Yankee debut, Goldschmidt has grounded out, struck out. Yankees did not have much production from the first base position in their lineup a year ago. 0-2 pitch on the way from Hudson, and it's just inside a ball.
Well, you talk about not much production. They were last in Major League Baseball in OPS, and you would expect that you would get a lot more from Paul Goldschmidt in days that he doesn't play. You could actually move Belly to first and put Grisham in center.
1-2 pitch, a strikeout for out number 1.
Bill, you know what that was, right? Sweeper.
Yeah, is that a sweeper?
That was a sweeper.
I was going to say slider, but hey, we're pretty far away from home plate. So. I always said when we played the Cardinals and Paul Goldschmidt, you say to yourself, you hope you get out of town before this guy figures it out. As we mentioned, always a slow starter.
Here's Chisholm. He takes outside ball 1. After pinch hitting Collins in the top of the inning, they keep Collins in the ball game. He's out in left. Sal Frelick has moved to center, and Jackson Churio is now in right. Just to keep you honest with the outfield defense, Collins, who bounced into that force out to end the top of the inning. Frelick and Churio. Here's the 1-0. Down 2-0.
Didn't really surprise Vinny at third base. He was in, but Reese has to hold the runner. So You would think that if he was going to bunt, he would take it with him and go towards first base. Pitcher falling off towards the third base side. It's open.
2-1. Hudson behind in the count, misses. It's 3-1. With Jason Dominguez on deck. A walk, a strikeout, and now another walk. Ball gets away. Bellinger will stop at second. 2 on, 1 out. Coming up tonight after the Tigers and Dodgers meet, it's NHL action. The Kings take on the Avalanche at 10 o'clock on ESPN. Both teams in the playoff hunt. 3 weeks left in the regular season. About 10 games or so. Colorado third in the Central, 91 points. The Kings second in the Pacific with 89. And now a meeting out on the mound is Chris Hook, who's done such a good job with this pitching staff of the Brewers over the years. In his 7th year, goes out to talk.
Yeah, doesn't get enough credit. I mean, Chris Hook, one of the best pitching coaches in the game, taking guys that have had so-so careers up to the point where they get to Milwaukee. Chris Hook and Jim Henderson, the assistant pitching coach. They have the pitching lab. And they get these guys to become very productive relief pitchers. And Hudson has been one of them. Unusual to see him walk a couple of guys in an inning.
1-run ball game, and Hudson trying to keep it that way. Dominguez is grounded out twice.
Jason's much stronger from the left side than he is the right side. He's made some adjustments and tried to get a little bit better load right hand. He was one that wouldn't load so much right-handed.
Here's a little floater on the infield. Hoskins, with the infield fly rule in effect, pulls it in. 2 out.
Isn't it amazing how pitching coaches go out there and right away get an out?
Yeah, I used to tell Larry Rothschild he'd go out and get a double play, and I would say, why'd you wait so long, you know? Go a little bit earlier.
Here is Anthony Volpe, who will dig his way in. Trying to make Hudson pay for the 2 walks. 2 on, 2 out. Bryan delivers in a strike.
4 lefties in the bullpen. That's not something that you see every day.
Tyler Alexander getting loose. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2.
And 3 of those guys in the bullpen may very well get a start on Monday. You know, the Brewers a little bit short in the starting rotation as well, just like the Yanks.
Runners at first and second, 2 out. 0-2 pitch is on its way. Fouled away.
Well, the Brewers have 9 guys listed in their bullpen, but Uribe is not available because he's serving a 4-game suspension.
A little dust up last year.
A little fight cost him 4 games.
Yeah.
So they're going to do it now. Nothing in 2, still the count. Volpe waits. Just inside, 1-2.
You get that side arm that it starts way in the first base batter's box and comes all the way across, be inside on a righty. It's got to be really tough to center up.
Yeah. Easy to get it on the hands of right-handers. You're expecting it on the outside part of the plate.
He did to Dominguez for sure.
Good job by Volpe to spoil that pitch.
And then he paints one away, and your rear end's, you know, in the pole mode.
He's rocking the boat in and out.
First round pick from 2019. Yankee fan growing up. Volpe waits for a 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Runner Bellinger is going to take third. Got a good jump, and why not? Didn't go that far away from Contreras, but Bellinger moves up 90 feet.
That's good base running.
The other thing that it does now is creates a big hole between first and second. If he throws that fastball away, you can slap it in between there. Sometimes when you're in the protect mode, you're trying to go the other way. So sometimes it seems insignificant. A guy moves up, but it creates a big hole between first and second now.
Here is a 2-2 pitch. Full count, runner at first, as Chisholm Jr. will take off. Goes down as a pass ball, by the way. The ball that allowed Bellinger to move up to third. It hasn't been pretty, but Brian Hudson has a chance to get out of it with one good pitch. And time called.
You know, Bill, we talk about the shadows for hitters. I always thought it was worse for the catcher.
Yeah.
Ball. We saw the couple balls get by Contreras, and that's not who he is. It's really tough for catchers to see right now.
3-2 pitch. Foul, and that was ripped.
You get those shadows, then you have twilight that starts to set in as the game goes on. Early in the game, on a night game, sometimes when you have that twilight situation, it can be difficult. If it's difficult on the catchers, it's difficult on the umpire.
Yes, it is.
Another 3-2 pitch. Runner goes, and a ground ball to short. Ortiz gobbles it up, gets the out, and that'll do it for the Yankees in the 6th. Scoreless inning put up by Hudson, still 2-1.
Hi, I'm Robin, a team member at Chick-fil-A in Georgia. And a little thing you'll love about our Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is the combination of flavors. From the brown sugar bacon to the smoky barbecue sauce, it's the whole package.
Real team member paid for their testimonial.
It doesn't matter where you work. If you're stuck in the same position all day, it's not good for you. That's why we created the original VeriDesk, the world's leading standing desk solution. Imagine working happier and healthier with a workspace designed for your comfort. VeriDesks are easy to set up in minutes, and they're built to last a lifetime. So invest in the best for your work and your well-being. Shop our sale and make your dream office a reality.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
Welcome to the show. Buckle up. It's about to get loud here. The one with unimaginable power. Wow. Unreal stuff. How good is this guy? And endless entertainment. Unbelievable. Where young trailblazers bring big speed, big swag, and big personalities. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to MLB's best. Braves, Padres, 2 National League beasts under the lights of Sunday Night Baseball. Sunday at 7 on ESPN.
Tonight, I will be your weapons sommelier for this evening.
You got something for me? Oh, that is not good.
Is that a grenade? Yep. This is nothing like Fortnite.
A Working Man, rated R. Only in theaters tonight.
A look at the live money line provided by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Right now, new ESPN Bet Sportsbook customers can get $100 in bonus bets after you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code HOMERUN to get started. Third pitcher of the ballgame for the Yankees is Mark Leiter Jr. He is in to try and protect this one-run lead. 7th inning. Capra, Turang, and Churio. The bottom 2, and then back to the top of the order here in the inning. That's up and in, ball 1.
Yeah, he's got a number of pitches. Fastball, curveball, split change is his best pitch. hitters are only hitting 0.99. He'll use the curveball early in the count to get some strikes. He'll throw a slider as well, but he wants to get to that split.
1 ball, 1 strike. Was okay coming over from Chicago in the regular season. Really good in the postseason was Mark Leiter Jr. for the Yankees. 1-1 pitch is hit hard left side from the hole. Volpe. Good play, 1 away.
Good strong throw from Volpe deep in the hole.
I mean, there's a reason he got a Gold Glove his first year, and you're going to see this. And how quickly he gets rid of it's really important.
He keeps his feet under him. Yeah, good balance, able to get off a strong throw.
Now Terang. Base hit the other way his first time, then struck out. Takes a ball.
Mark Leiter was a guy with the Cubs that it seemed like every jam they were in, they brought him in. He was expected to get a strikeout and go through the tough times. As you said, he struggled a little bit when he came here, but he was great for them in the playoffs. And I think that curveball has been really important for him. You don't see him use it late in the counts, but he likes to use it to get strike 1 so he doesn't have to show the split so early, so it can be devastating later in the count.
Yeah, that split-fingered fastball is tough.
There
Good
it is.
2-strike pitch.
1-2 the count. He went around, and Terang is out number 2. Strikes out for the second time in the ball game.
You get a lot of that, don't you, with a splitter?
Yeah. Yeah, he got ahead with the curveball, and then he went to the split and got him to check swing on that one. But you can see the movement on it. And in these shadows, it's got to be really tough to pick up.
Now Churio, who has struck out 3 times in the ball game. He's happy that Carlos Rodon is gone. Very late swing. Didn't pick that one up at all. Strike 1.
See him trying to adjust his eyes there, or trying to open them wider. I don't think it's going to help with the shadows.
The 0-1 pitch is in for strike 2.
Yeah, sometimes, Joe, when you go up there, you have an 0-2 count on the on-deck circle, right? It seems like that's the case with Jackson today.
He is trying to avoid striking out for the 4th time. Got a piece.
Young man's going to be pitched tough all season after what he was able to do a year ago.
He's not going to sneak up on anybody this year because of what he did the second half of the season, which you talked about.
Ended up with 21 home runs, 79 RBIs, stole 22. 0-2 pitch. Ball 1.
Pretty good recognition of that split right there.
Or he just didn't see anything and just stood there.
He knew he was going to throw it, and he said, I'm just taking this. It's going to be below the zone.
2 out, bases empty. 1-2 pitch. Struck him out, and Churio with 4 Ks on the day. Bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch. 2-1 New York.
TikTok literally helped Dano's grow. Seasoning, Chipotle, Primo. Dano's started right here in this house that I actually bought from my grandmother. It was the hardest I'd ever worked, and COVID hit. I felt like it could be the end of Dano's. And then I had the TikTok viral video, and I never looked back. TikTok helped Dano's grow from a one-man show to 45 team members in Louisville, Kentucky. Now we're going to be in 20,000 grocery stores nationwide.
Heck of a hit, Mikey.
Thanks, Mrs. Costello.
With hundreds of sales every week, eat well for less at Whole Foods Market.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. We use money as a tool to help all the people we hold in our hearts. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we care about. At Thrivent, we help you plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more.
Suni Lee? Bro.
You really think you can outflip me?
Hold my hokers.
That's cute.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
You could buy on your own. You could get a lender, get showings, get through all the paperwork, get an inspector, get into negotiations, get a stress rash, and finally get ready to close. Or you could get an agent who's a realtor with the expertise and ethical training to make home happen.
Kohl's Spring Savings Event is here. Find great deals on fresh new finds like tees starting at $7.99, swimsuits starting at $19.99, 40% off patio furniture, and so many more favorites right now at Kohl's.
Well, it's been a fun opening day here in the Bronx. Fans have had a good time. Good pitching. We've seen that. We've also seen 3 solo shots. Austin Wells went deep. Anthony Volpe went deep. Vinny Capra went deep. That's all the scoring. There's Capra's home run into left. 3 solo shots. That's it. 2-1 ball game, bottom of the 7th inning. Starters outstanding. Freddie Peralta, Carlos Rodon. And the Brewers will employ their 3rd pitcher of the ball game, Jared Koenig, who takes over for Brian Hudson. Another left-hander coming out of the pen. And Koenig will deal with Rice, Cabrera, and Wells here in the 7th.
Yeah, he was terrific a year ago. A 9-4 record, a 247 earned run average. He had a save. They used him as an opener 6 times last year. Did a good job in that regard. Getting an opportunity here today.
Ben Rice hit a rocket off the wall in right his last time up. Really added a lot of bulk, added some muscle. It paid off during the spring. And when we talked to Aaron Boone before this game, he said he can really hit. And I just have the feeling that, you know, every once in a while you get some breakout player that nobody's talking about much over the offseason. I'll go with what Aaron Boone says. If he thinks this kid can hit, then I think he can hit too.
Well, he burst onto the scene his first 17 games where he hit 4 homers. He had a 3-homer game, and then it kind of went awry. And sometimes you get caught up with the home run, but I think he has really good command of the strike zone. Like you talked about, he put on a lot of muscle, and it was all upper body strength. And it's really shown up in spring training.
Hey, opening day continues on ESPN. Tigers are in LA to take on the Dodgers. That's coming up at 7 on ESPN. Carl Ravitch, Eduardo Perez, David Cohn, Buster Olney will have it for you. Skubal against Snell. Good pitching matchup to start the season for Detroit, continue the season for the Dodgers, who will be 2-0. After those wins in Tokyo. First pitch of ball from Koenig. Koenig brings it home again, and it's 2-0.
Well, this is really a different look, too. You think about the difference in these 2 left-handers. You got a side armor, and then you got a sinker ball lefty that throws 94 to 96, and it looks like he's aiming at the Major League Baseball sign behind Ben Rice.
Yeah, and he had a terrific season a year ago. Another guy that the Brewers were able to bring along and turned him into a productive pitcher out of the bullpen. And that's how the Brewers and a lot of small market teams have to do it.
3-0 pitch, 4-pitch walk to start the inning. And we'll check in with Kevin Connors here in the 7th.
All right, Joe, Bregman, Crochet, they've retooled things in Boston with those young guys, and here's one of them, Wilyer Abreu, going .415 off Nathan Eovaldi. Crochet, 2 earned, 4 Ks over 4 innings. It's 2-2. Joe.
All right, thank you. Well, it's a leadoff walk here in the 7th inning. Crochet, he's just scratching the surface, isn't he?
He's got a great arm, yeah. Think about he's over in Boston. Now, Boston, when everyone's healthy, their rotation is going to be pretty good. And with the addition of Bregman, I like their line. That's going to be a tough club. I mean, I think they're going to be in it to the end. I think Baltimore will be in it to the end.
Swinging strike. It's 0-2 on Cabrera.
And the other thing about this left-hander is how he lands closed. I mean, there aren't a lot of people that land. It's really throwing across your body. It's a real different look. It doesn't look comfortable, but it really works for him. It probably helps his sinker.
0-2 pitch is in the dirt. Good job by Contreras to keep it at the plate. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, about as athletic as you can get behind home plate with William Contreras. I mean, he is about as athletic as it gets back there, even on one knee, able to keep that one in his glove.
And that's one of those do or dies. You're not meant to block fastballs. It's
right.
You either pick it or you don't.
You don't expect it in the dirt.
A leadoff walk. Now the 1-2 up and away, not close. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Back to the top of the order, and Austin Wells next.
How about the difference in those 2 pitches? He pulled the heater, bounced it, and then he over adjusted and up and away.
Almost airmailed it.
Stay loose, William.
Here is 2-2. That's into center field, a base hit. A walk, a single, and the Yankees with a chance now to add to their 1-run 7th inning lead. Austin Wells back in the 1st inning made history. First catcher in big league history to hit a leadoff home run on opening day. He's also the first Yankee ever to hit a leadoff home run on opening day. And now with 2 on and nobody out, he leans back from ball 1 high.
Can get some ground balls. He could use one right now.
Wells is homered, struck out, and walked.
Talked about Austin Wells leadoff home run. Brett Gardner, I believe it was, in spring training. First game of the season. Led off with a home run, and as he ran by Derek Jeter, Jeter told him he'd go nothing but downhill from here.
2 balls, no strikes. Opportunity for the Yankees. There's a strike. 2-1. The next from Koenig on the way, and strike 2.
Well, you talked about his ability to get ground ball. You could see how Wells was on top of that. That lead sink that he gets on top of it. Got on top of it a little bit too much to be a ground ball.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Missing up a lot, and a full count.
Adrenaline. Opening day, everyone wants to get off to a good start.
Three-two pitch headed home. It's a pop-up on the infield. Capra at third base has it. 2 on 1 out. And in steps Aaron Judge. He and his wife Samantha became parents for the first time over the offseason in January with the birth of a baby girl, Nora. 32 years old now, 2-time MVP, waits with 2 on and 1 out. Here it is. Ground ball third. Hits the bag. Fair ball. 1 run will score. That's Rice. Into second is Judge, and it's a 3-1 ball game. Yankees added their lead here in the 7th.
Yeah, it looked like Capper had a play on that baseball had it not hit the bag, but it hit the bag, shot straight up. Be a double for Judge. Yeah, might have been a double play. Certainly would not have scored a run. Would have gotten at least 1 out.
Instead, it's a 3-1 game. The infield comes in. Runners at second and third, 1 out. And Bellinger, a big swing and a foul tip, strike 1.
A lot of the adjustments that Cody Bellinger has made in the last couple of years has helped him to hit left-handers a lot better. He actually has had a higher batting average against lefties, 298 last year to 251 versus right-handers. He finds a way to put the ball in play.
But you find sometimes lefty versus lefty, the left-handed hitter doesn't try and hit the ball or pull the ball, try to hit the home run, just put the ball in play, right?
I mean, just slap it. You got the infield in. Any hard ground ball is probably going to almost go through, especially if it's to the left side. And he'll get a lot of base hits that way versus left-handers.
The 1-1 pitch, fouled back. Bellinger, National League MVP in 2019. He was Rookie of the Year in 2017, the same year Aaron Judge was Rookie of the Year here with the Yankees in the American League. Hitting back-to-back now in the Yankees lineup. Traded from the Cubs. 1-2 pitch, 2-2.
Giancarlo Stanton gets back. They have a chance to have 4 MVPs in the same line. Paul Goldschmidt as well.
Two balls, 2 strikes, second and third, 1 out. Infield is in. Bellinger gets under it and skies it into shallow right. Churio is there. Cabrera tags. He's coming and makes it to make it 4-1.
And not a very good throw by Churio out and right. If he puts it on line, I think they got the out. Ball sailed on him up the line.
It looked to me like Luis Rojas, the third base coach, put up the stop sign, didn't send him, and Cabrera just went.
Yeah, not very deep. Good throw. Either holds him or gets him at home plate.
Well, you could see that he was fighting the sun, so it's hard to get behind the ball and really concentrate on making the throw. You're concentrating so hard on just catching it.
Rough outing for Koenig. 2 runs on the board for the Yankees in a 4-1 game.
I hate you because we're from different neighborhoods.
I hate you because you look different.
I hate you because I don't understand you.
I hate you because people I know hate you.
I hate you because I think you hate me.
Because I need someone to blame.
Because you talk different.
Because you act different.
Because you're just different. Man, I hate that things are so bad that we have to do a commercial about it.
Me too.
When you'd rather enjoy the pool than clean someone else's.
Sweetie, get out of the pool.
It matters where you stay. Conrad Hotels and Resorts. Hilton for the stay.
How are folks 60 and older having fun these days?
Family cookouts.
Playing games. Dancing in the park.
Where's that game we always play?
I don't know, but with Ring I can find it.
Board game.
Oh, man.
If I may, search raccoons.
There's a lot of results. Oh, look, the masquerade party. What a party.
Girl, you have a raccoon problem.
With Ring, you can type it and find it.
So, do you, do tricks?
No, Richard, I'm a genius. I'm not doing tricks for you.
Right.
Oh, all right, fine. I'll show you one trick. Toss me your phone. Okay, here we go. NerdWallet will find the right credit card or auto insurance for you in minutes.
Yep, just by answering a few simple questions.
Wow, smart.
Yeah, it's smart. It's genius, Richard.
Genius, Richard.
Nerds!
Well, for Jared Koenig, he ends up going 2/3 of an inning. He's allowed a couple of runs on 2 hits. Got a bad break on that ball hit by Judge that went off the bag. Here's Goldschmidt, fouls the first pitch away from Yoel Payamps, the new pitcher for Milwaukee. And the 4th pitcher of the game for the Brewers, an off day tomorrow.
Yeah, 68 relief appearances for Yoel, 6 saves.
That is off the end of the bat into right, and Churio makes the catch before it hits the grass, and the inning is over. We're through 7 here in game 1. Yankees lead by 3.
This tea, I like to do a longer stick.
Join the more than 7 million adults, like Maria, who've taken Ozempic.
I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 10 years ago. It was overwhelming, but it didn't stop me from opening my own salon. I'm Maria, and this is what my Ozempic era looks like. I'm lowering my A1C, and I lost some weight too.
I also learned some people take Ozempic to lower the risk of major cardiovascular events like stroke, heart attack, or death, and others take it to lower the risk of worsening chronic kidney disease.
Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck or any of these allergic reactions. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Serious side effects may include inflamed pancreas, gallbladder or severe stomach problems, or changes in vision. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Taking with a sulfonylurea or insulin may raise low blood sugar risk. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, constipation. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Discover the GLP-1 with the most FDA-approved uses. Ozempic.
At MLBshop.com, you can get all the latest officially licensed merchandise for you and your family. But if you really want to level up your game, you can grab something for your dog walker, your Pilates instructor, your swim coach, your neighbor, your accountant, your gardener, your best friend, your bandmate, your boss, your kid's teacher, your mailman. Visit MLBshop.com and stock up on officially licensed on-field merchandise from your favorite teams.
Again, our first Sunday night baseball game of the season. The Atlanta Braves are in San Diego to face the Padres. 7 o'clock on ESPN. Baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown gets it started at 6. So we are into it. Games are for real. And here in the 8th inning, a couple of defensive changes for the Yankees. The biggest one is that Luke Weaver takes over on the mound. Did a good job taking over last year as the closer. That job now belongs to former Milwaukee Brewer Devin Williams, who, if things stay the way they are, we will see, you would think, in this ball game as Christian Yelich leads off and takes a ball high. The Yankees put Trent Grisham in the game. He's in center, and Cody Bellinger moves from center to left. So Jason Dominguez, who is still learning left field, is out of the game. Here's a 1-0. Yelich takes a strike.
Yeah, Luke Weaver came in, and he was originally a starter, and then they moved him to the bullpen. 62 games, 84 innings, and he just kept getting better and better and better. He's an outstanding changeup with a lot of good depth. His velocity went up, and he found himself being the closer at the end of the year.
That misses for ball 2. 2-1. That's a strike. 2-2.
There's the changeup. You see the good movement, and when it's down, it has a lot of depth as well. And he will eventually get higher velocity as he builds arm strength through the season, and that changeup even gets better.
2-2 pitch is foul. Is that what they do here? I just heard the sound effect of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
With Luke on the mound. Is it 2 strikes and
It's one night that I would get freaked out when they would have Star Wars night here.
Yeah, you didn't like that.
It scared me.
Chewbacca, you don't like him?
Scared me.
Yeah, let's try to get something going for the Brewers here in the 8th inning, down by 3. Strikeout starts the 8th.
Just outstanding location. He had thrown him a couple changeups away. The second one was down. Then he goes completely up in the zone and inside, and it's just hard to get to.
Yeah, got him to chase the high fastball. Does a good job, does Weaver, keeping the ball in the ballpark. Gave up only 10 homers last year.
It's now 10 strikeouts rung up by Yankee pitchers in this game. Rodon, Hill, Leiter, and now Weaver. 1 out. Here's William Contreras, strike 1.
When you look at their pitching last year, they were 3rd in the American League in strikeouts. Now, they had a few too many walks, and it'd like to be something that you cut down, and they've done that so far in this game, and that's been a big part of their success, because you know that Milwaukee's going to run when they get on.
The 0-1 pitch. Easy play for Goldschmidt. Flips to Weaver. 2 down.
Yeah, Yankee pitching has really shut down the Brewers here today. Since the 3rd inning, when Capper hit the home run and Trang with a base hit, they've had 2 infield hits, and that's it. Not making very loud contact lately.
Here's Rhys Hoskins, who made loud contact 26 times last year. Hit just .214. Here in the opener, 0 for 2 with a walk. Weaver with strike 1. Base is empty, 2 out. That is a ball and a strike. Milwaukee won 93 games last year, won their division by 10. Yankees winners of the East, won 94, ended up in the World Series and came up short. That misses down and away. 2-1. Strike 2.
You know, this is a funny game. Clay Holmes was the closer last year, and he went like 20 appearances without giving up the run. Looked as good as he ever looked. And then he kind of lost it a little bit, had a little command problems, and was giving up some home runs. Luke Weaver ends up being the closer at the end of the year, and Clay Holmes is now a starter. Now, I don't remember the last time he started. His opening day starter for the Mets.
So that foul tip catch the right shoulder of Austin Wells. It missed the chest protector. I know the guys to my right miss foul tips like that.
Opening day and already.
You know, the only thing foul tips are good for is when someone tells you to do something and you forget. A lot of foul tips.
Yeah.
Right?
What'd you say?
A lot of foul tips. I don't remember you telling me.
That's Bill Schroeder. That's Joe Girardi. I'm Joe Buck. And it's been fun. You know, when it was determined that I was going to do this game, I said, well, who do you want to work with? I had 1 first-round pick, and I traded back into the first round. And you were my 2 first-round picks, and here we are. And we're almost finished. We're in the 8th inning of what's been a pretty well-played, well-pitched game so far. Just not a lot of hits.
What a great day, right? I mean, Yankee Stadium opening day with you guys. What a blessing.
Really fun. 2-2 pitch is down and away. Full count as Hoskins tries to get on for Frelick.
The only difference between today and when you were a kid and you used to come to opening day here is you didn't have to skip school.
Yeah, right. And I got a better seat today.
Yeah.
Here's a 3-2 from Weaver on its way. And a 2-out walk.
Spent a lot of time in the upper tank and loved every minute of it.
2-hour drive for you. How many games would you go to a year?
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3, something like that, But walking into this ballpark, or the old ballpark, I should say, and seeing the green grass, I mean, there was nothing like it.
Here's Sal Frelick. He's got 2 hits in this game. Takes a strike from Weaver.
See here, Cody Bellinger in left field has really moved in. He came in a little bit more on Sal. Grisham's probably a little too deep, I would say.
They got him shaded toward left.
Yeah.
0-1 pitch. This is really where you miss the presence of Willie Adames in your lineup.
This is where he really came up big, right? I mean, 7th inning and on. One of the reasons why the Brewers were so good a year ago and come from behind victories.
Oh, 2 pitch is down. One-two pitch is down again. 2-2. They're trying to get Weaver's attention, and now Goldschmidt finally does, saying, hey, I'm going to play behind the runner.
Yeah, I don't think Reese is going to be running.
He would like to, though. I know that from management.
Here is a 2-2 pitch. A strikeout ends the inning. And a scoreless frame put up by Luke Weaver. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Pitching has been good today for the Yankees, who after 7.5 lead it 4-1.
What's your plan, huh? Do you have one? Talking about what is your plan for a reliable source of power when the next emergency strikes? Well, check this out. It's called the Patriot Power Generator 2500, and right now it's $500 off at 4 Patriots. See, they took a page out of the military's playbook for portable solar power, and now we get to use it in our own homes. What's even better is that this solar generator can power critical appliances like your fridge, your microwave, and your CPAP machine, so that you're prepared for whatever emergency strikes next. Go to 4patriots.com now and save $500.
We were built for Ulrich, to lift him up, because when twisted legs and hurtful stares kept him from reaching his potential, we became his support. Every engine and motor, each hand and mind, focused on fixing his legs and lifting his heart, because we were built for Ulrich.
Did you just pay with PayPal?
Yes, it keeps my info safe, even at this shady lemonade stand.
Who you calling shady, mister?
Oh, like this is fresh squeeze. Give me a break, Logan. I want to pay with you everywhere. Don't just pay, PayPal.
You found a place of complete focus. You ordered your thoughts and mastered your mind. You were on the train home. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Well, there was a beautiful moment of silence before today's game here with the Yankees home opener in honor of the late Miller Gardner. Longtime New York Yankee Brett Gardner. He and his wife Jessica, their other son Hunter, they lost Miller this past week in Costa Rica. during spring break, 14 years old. And it's just hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Brett was one of the toughest players I ever managed, and just a great family man, and loved his boys, him and Jessica. And, you know, we think about it like it's our family because you're together so much. Your kids grow up in the clubhouse and in the family room together. Aaron Boone talking about his daughter Bella, my daughter Lena, seeing those kids. It's
heartbreaking to lose a kid. It is.
It's just really difficult.
We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Brett Gardner's former team, the Yankees, lead by 3. As Chisholm is at the plate, leading it off, and in this game 0 for 2 with a walk. New pitcher in the ballgame is Tyler Alexander, another lefty out of the pen for the Brewers, and the count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, made 9 starts with the Rays a year ago. A 6-5 record. Also worked out of the bullpen.
Two and 2.
And Brewers picked him up as a free agent back in February. Unusual to have 4 lefties in your bullpen. Not sure how long that's going to last.
They also have Connor Thomas, who's a young left-hander who was a Rule 5 pickup from the Cardinals organization. So they'll have to carry him this year or offer him back. Here is a grounder foul outside first. Still 2 and 2.
You're going to need some guys that can maybe piece together a game with all the starters they have on the IL, and Woodruff and Myers and Ashby and Hall. It's going to be really difficult. And it becomes really difficult when you get in a stretch of 15 games in a row.
Right. One piece of good news is that it looks like Jose Quintana, veteran left-hander, who has really done a number on the Brewers over the years. It looks like he's going to be ready to make starts probably around mid-April, and they can use him.
3-2 is strike 3. As Alexander starts this bottom of the 8th inning with a strikeout of Jazz Chisholm Jr. And that will bring in Grisham. Here are just a few guys in the rotation. Although it's been a while for Woodruff. He was hurt in 2023, didn't pitch at all last year, but working his way back. But they are shorthanded, to say the least, with this pitching staff. If you ask their manager, Pat Murphy, he says 8 of our top 13 are out in our pitching staff. So they're trying to piece it together here to get through the early part of the year.
Yeah, D.L. Hall was involved in that Corbin Burns deal with the Orioles a couple of off seasons ago. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. Aaron Ashby, sorry, a really tough left-hander. He's been on the shelf as well for a year plus.
You talk about him trading Devin Williams for Nestor Cortez. They knew that they needed a starter. Their bullpen was 2nd in all of baseball in ERA last year, and McGill was very good as a closer when Williams was hurt. So they gave him the luxury of making that trade to get some innings, and Nestor will make his starts.
Yeah, Brewers bullpen has been good last couple of years.
Been the 2nd best bullpen ERA each of the last 2.
And they seem to find guys that they get a lot out of. I mean, they do a really good job of developing these kids. And sometimes they're not kids.
No. But they do a good job developing these guys, and they have to do it that way. You know, most small market teams have to do it that way.
Trent Grisham is first at bat since taking over defensively. He rips one into right field, and that's a base hit. On with 1 out here in the 8th. And that'll bring in Anthony Volpe, the 3rd-year shortstop for the Yankees, who back in the 2nd inning got one up and into the jet stream and over the wall and right.
Yeah, and this is a ball that's middle in, and sometimes hitters actually like the ball middle in to go the other way because it's easier for them and they can get a little bit more behind it, and that's exactly what he did there.
Especially when the ball carries like it does in this ballpark, right?
Yeah.
Volpe, who wears Brett Gardner's number 11, takes a strike with 1 on, 1 out. Another one popped into right, this time the right fielder Churio, and he comes on to make the catch, 2 down. Stream MLB Network for the entire season, plus live audio for all 30 teams, no blackouts. Includes access to minor leagues, MLB Big Inning, and available pre and post games. Visit MLB.com/@bat for details. Here's Ben Rice. One for 2 with a walk and a single, and he's been showing good swings here in this game. Strike 1.
I liked his swings all last year, even when he struggled, and he showed a real ability to go the other way. The problem with the lefties is you got to hit it a long ways the other way at this ballpark to really do some damage. So I think pulling would be to his advantage as he learns how to pull the ball.
There goes the runner. Grisham. Throw down is in time to end the inning. And Contreras is 1 for 1 on the year and throwing out potential base stealers as Terang applies the tag. Devin Williams, the former Brewer, is coming on. His first day in pinstripes.
Yo, I can guard pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
You fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete.
Dix is the GOAT.
Everyone wants to be the Cadbury Bunny, because only he brings delicious Cadbury cream eggs, while others may keep trying. No bunny knows Easter better than Cadbury.
Oh, chips.
Dip. That looks good.
This looks good.
Honey, maybe we should get another one.
You want to get 2 more?
Yeah.
It's buy one, get one half off.
Cool.
Mom, it's on sale.
I can see that. Get 7 days of big deals. It's Target Circle Week.
Eczema isn't always obvious.
Eczema isn't always red.
But now, eczema isn't always going to stop you.
With Ebglyss. Ebglyss is a once-monthly treatment to help those with moderate to severe eczema find real itch relief and real results.
Like skin that's still more clear at 1 year. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Skin that's still more clear, even at 1 year? Clearly, it's possible with Ebglyss.
Talk to your doctor about Ebglyss for eczema.
Well, here is the debut for Devin Williams, traded by the Brewers. To the Yankees, a big piece and of the puzzle for the Yankees here in 2025 and forward. And you might notice that he is Joe Girardi. He's got a beard.
Yeah, which looks good, but I think you should give this to Bill because Bill saw him a lot more than I did.
I will. I'm not leading. The only thing I'm leading to you, Joe, is
that he has a beard.
Is that he has a beard, and he seems to be the guy that with Hal Steinbrenner has said, well, you know, beers are important to some of these guys, and because Devin said, hey, it could play into believe it or not, free agency, that they've kind of relaxed the rule on facial hair with the Yankees.
And I love it because he's your closer. He needs to be comfortable in his own skin, and sometimes it's whatever makes you comfortable. You want players to be able to do that as long as it's not detrimental to the team, and it's not detrimental to the team. And so many players have facial hair now, and then they would come here and have to shave. I love what the Steinbrenner family did and Cash did to allow players to be able to grow facial hair.
It's kind of a tradition, right?
I mean, you wouldn't be able to play here.
One and only. Got the goatee.
Well, let's talk about what he does on the mound, and he has got an unbelievable changeup.
Well, normally when I introduce Devin Williams, I'm rooting for him, but we'll see how it goes today. He was the 2020 Rookie of the Year and Reliever of the Year, two-time Reliever of the Year, the airbender, the changeup, outstanding pitch. You always have to be aware of that, but the other part of it is he's got a good fastball. You can throw in the mid-90s and sneak that one by if you sit on that changeup too much. And then toward the end of the year, he was starting to throw a slider, cutter slider type thing to keep hitters honest.
Joey Ortiz took a strike, trying to get something started here in the 9th inning. Now takes a ball and a strike.
Well, you think about the two breaking balls he's got. They start the same and then they go opposite ways, and it's that tunneling that you talk about, and it's hard for hitters to pick up.
It's almost like a screwball.
The airbender?
Airbender. That's what they call it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ortiz 1 for 3 in the ball game. Takes down and away 2 balls and a strike. Well, it sets up perfectly for Devin Williams. He faces his former team. He's got a 3-run 9th inning lead, trying to get the save and lock down win number 1 for the Yankees on the season. 2-1 pitch. Check swing. He went around and the count 2-2.
It has to be difficult for him, though. I'm sure he would have preferred to face somebody else his first appearance with the Yankees because of the closeness, and you see the changeup, and Ortiz tries to hold up, and
he throws it in any count. He loves to throw it on a full count. Gets a lot of swings. Not often is it a called strike.
Now the 2-2. Right side base hit. Leadoff man is on for Milwaukee here in the 9th.
And there's that aforementioned fastball.
Yeah.
Right down the middle of the plate.
Yeah, he just didn't locate that, and Ortiz was ready for it. I mean, that's what you want to swing at, because you're probably, if you hit his airbender, you're not going to do a lot of damage anyway on that changeup. So Ortiz got a ball in the middle, and he didn't miss it.
Devin has 68 career saves. That's 8th in Brewers history. Batter now is Isaac Collins, who pinch hit with the bases loaded back in the 6th inning. Bounced into a force out at second. He takes a strike.
Yeah, not many at bats last year. He was 2 for 18.
Switch hitter waits and hits one a ton in the air to right. Back at the wall. This ball is up against. The runner will dig around third. That is Ortiz. They're going to hold him. And it's 2nd and 3rd with nobody out on a double by Isaac Collins. And just like that, the Brewers will bring up the tying run.
Yeah, that's what they did a lot last year. We talked about these come from behind victories for the Brewers. They had 39 of them a year ago, and doing it just like this. A couple of base hits. Brewers haven't been able to really put together some much hard contact since the 3rd inning, but Devin Williams has given him a couple of pitches to get good swings on.
And now Jake Bauers will come off the bench and bat for Vinny Capra, who homered 1 for 3 on his day. 2nd and 3rd, tying run at the plate, and a strike is in from Williams.
Now, if you're Devin Williams, the only guy you're concerned about is the hitter. They can score from 2nd and 3rd, and you still end up winning this game. You can't get caught up with trying not to give up a run. You just need outs.
Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Another one in the category of it's never easy.
Never is.
Brewers making noise with a single, a double, and the 1-1 pitch to Bowers. 2-1.
Yeah, Bowers came up with some huge home runs for the Brewers a year ago. Made some adjustments in his swing, trying to put more contact together.
12 home runs a year ago. Waits for a 2-1 pitch. Williams. There's a strike, 2-2. Fifth pitcher of the game for the Yankees. First year as a Yankee. Williams brings it. And Bauer's able to spoil it.
Yeah, the arm action on that changeup is so good for him. I mean, the way he pronates that arm, you know, the wrist, he gets that rotation, that 9-3 rotation, awfully difficult to replicate.
Here is a 2-2 pitch. Full count. Turang, the number 9 man on deck. And then back to the top of the order with Churio here in the 9th inning.
Well, there was talk that he was tipping at the end of last year. And if anyone would know, it would be the Milwaukee Brewers and would be aware of what he's throwing.
That is ball 4 and the bases are loaded.
And what you haven't seen is any really wild swings where they look clueless.
Yeah, they've seen a lot of this guy. This is pretty much of a typical inning for Devin. I mean, it's really never been 3 up, 3 down for him, but more times than not, he's able to get the job done. We'll see what happens today.
Well, this opening day crowd getting restless with Turang at the plate. Bases loaded. Ball 1. Two-time All-Star in a jam in a blink. Here is a 1-0 pitch. Fouled away left side. Baseball fans, New York fans, remember the Pete Alonso home run off Devin Williams. Looking for the save against the Mets in Game 3 of that wild card series. Blew the save. Mets moved on. Now pitching for the Yankees, up high, 2-1.
And it almost looks like to me they're sitting on his changeup and just saying you're gonna get it. So because they're late on his fastball and they have not taken any wild swings at his changeup.
And until you have 2 strikes, that's not a bad deal. That's not a bad idea.
Here's a 2-1. Ball 3. There is action for the Yankees out in their pen. With Fernando Cruz. Next pitch. Fouled away. Full count. Crowd now trying to get behind their new closer, Devin Williams. Here comes a 3-2 pitch to Bryce Turang, fouled away again. Three-two pitch. Fly ball into center field. Back is Grisham. All runners tag. Tagging and scoring is Ortiz. Tagging going to third is Collins, and it's a 2-run game.
Yeah, that was a really good at-bat by Bryce right there. Terang able to hang in there, spoil some tough pitches, and able to lift one into center field.
And coming out to talk is Matt Blake, the pitching coach, with Jackson Chourio coming up. And what an opportunity for Chourio, who has struck out 4 times in this game, to deliver a big blow for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Probably a good break with, he's thrown 21 pitches already in spring training. Closers don't throw a lot, and they don't get usually over 25 pitches in spring training, because you know you can take a guy out and send him back out now with the rules in spring training. But he's got to concentrate on the hitter. Don't worry about the base runner at first. I don't think you'll see Jake Bauers running. Get the hitter. Another sac fly doesn't hurt you.
Yeah. And more importantly, you got the top of the order up with all these base runners. Yelich on deck.
Chourio hit 21 home runs last year. First and third, 1 out. Ball 1. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Would be a tough guy to double. Tying run right now, standing at first. One-0 pitch, fouled away, a ball and a strike.
You know, that's the beauty of this game. You draw it up every day, and it was going perfect through 8 innings, and here you are on the edge of your seat. You just never know what can happen in this game against some of the greatest closers of all time. You can somehow strike a rally.
Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is down. Throw down is late. Second and third, 1 out with a stolen base. And now the tying run is in scoring position.
And that's the thing about closers. Normally you can get a pretty good jump off of closers, and Devin Williams is included in that. Good jump by Bauers to get into scoring position.
He's not even a base stealer.
Right.
That's
base hit could tie it. 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Crowd to its feet. 1 out in the inning. 2-2 pitch from Devin Williams is fouled down the third baseline. Devin threw more than 25 pitches only 2 times all of last season. And this will be pitch number 27 on opening day. Trying to lock down this save. Two-two pitch. Full count.
Number of full counts. And that's why his pitch count is so high. There has been nothing that has been easy for him. He started off with Joey Ortiz working a full count and getting a base hit.
3-2 now. Just got a piece.
He's fighting it up there at the plate right now, but doing a good job just trying to stay alive, waiting for a mistake.
And you know what has disappeared are the shadows. The shadows are no longer there, so I think hitters can see the ball much better than they could in the middle innings.
Base hit could tie it. 3-2 pitch from Devin Williams on its way, and he struck him out. 2 out and 5 strikeouts in the ball game for Jackson Chourio.
Yeah, 3-2 changeup, and a lot of times hitters are much more aggressive 3-2 than they are 2-2.
Devin Williams will throw a ton of those on a full count.
And now Yelich.
Christian Yelich hits a lot of balls up the middle on the ground, so I think you have to be careful there.
Strike one. 0 for 3 with a walk. Coming off back surgery. The former MVP waits. Ball one.
Hit .352 in these situations last year.
Waits for a 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Back to the screen. Strike two.
I had one to hit.
Yeah, it's a pretty good swing too.
Well, it hasn't been pretty, but Devin Williams in his Yankees debut is one good pitch away from getting out of this and getting the save. Here it comes. Ball too high. Two now. Check swing didn't go. Full count.
34 pitches on opening day. Could this be his last?
Yeah. He's only thrown one fastball in this sequence.
Does he take a chance and try to go up and in?
3-2 pitch to Yelich. Down the left field line, slicing into the corner foul.
Again, I think these Brewers' approach has been really, really good. They're really trying to hit the fastball the other way so they can stay on the changeup or at least foul it off, and they've been really successful so far.
Williams ready, former teammates facing each other. 3-2 pitch is headed home. Struck him out, and the Yankees win it. Devin Williams able to exhale after getting through that ninth inning, allowing a run on 2 hits, issued a walk, but struck out Chourio and Yelich with the tying runs in scoring position. And here's how it ended on opening day. And for the Yankees, the victory. 4-2 is the final, and pretty sharp game here to start the season there, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think it was a really well-pitched game for the most part. There were a couple home runs early where the Yankees got on the board, and then they got 2 more in the 7th, and Judge was a big part of that. But well-pitched game, well-played game. We saw a little bit of everything. I thought the defense was outstanding. It came down to the new closer for the Yankees, Devin Williams, and he got it done.
Yeah, and the Brewers did what they had to do in the 9th inning. We talked about all these come-from-behind victories. Get that tying run to the plate, get the go-ahead run to the plate. They were able to do that, but Devin Williams, like he did so many times with the Brewers, he loaded the bases up, but finally was able to get the job done tonight.
And gets the save with a 36-pitch effort to lock it down. Our final score, Yankees 4, Brewers 2. Opening day continues at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Tigers and Dodgers. For Bill Schroeder and Joe Girardi, I can't thank them enough. I'm Joe Buck. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll send you to Baseball Tonight with Kevin Connors, Tim Kirkjian,